early now at whenweallvote.org. Because our vote is our power. Again, make your plan to vote early at whenweallvote.org. Sponsored by Civic Nation.
Haywood Regional Medical Center is thrilled to welcome primary care physician Dr. Tony Lee to our staff this fall. Dr. Lee will practice family medicine at our new Haywood Family Practice Asheville location on Acton Circle, just off the Enka Candler exit on I-40. Dr. Lee is a local doctor returning home, bringing his expertise in primary care, a passion for prevention, and a commitment to lasting relationships with patients. Call 800-424-DOCS for an appointment. That's 800-424-DOCS. Or visit haywoodmedicalgroup.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
By golly, put more powder in those things.
Oh, yeah, the Jets killed him, all right. I mean, they haven't yet because I am still sitting here talking, but by golly, they're trying to kill me.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio on a
Football Friday.
Yes, sir. We've got all the previews of the NFL matchups this weekend.
Grumperfest 99.
It's not a wonderful week of football, as there's about 2 games this week worth watching.
It's not a wonderful week of football?
I'm trying to be nice. You know me. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
You talk about you put lipstick on that pig. Something serious. This is all right. This week of football games, if you went out for Halloween in what is the best state I could say here? Alabama, and you stayed until the bars closed at 4 a.m., and then you waited for the janitorial staff to clean up, and all you had left were the girls that couldn't get Ubers. That's the pickings you have this weekend in football.
It's not a lot.
You have a nurse that started slutty and is now just crying in her beer about somebody else. You've got a girl dressed as Iron Man for some reason. 7 Harley Quinns. It's bad.
This is way too many.
It's bad.
It's way too many. By the way, I got a real kick out of last night. The whole trick-or-treating thing, hanging out the house, handing out candy. One of my neighbors comes down the street, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses on what costume he was wearing when he brought his kids to my house.
The Joker.
Nope.
Slutty nurse.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope. I'll give you one more guess.
Which one am I forgetting?
Hot dog costume.
Oh, there you go.
He came walking into what made it even worse for him was that he came walking toward my house with the hot dog costume and then immediately tripped over one of the broken trees in the yard and fell. And yeah, it was great. Anyhow, I just thought that was quite funny. That was the one thing I said. Could we stop wearing the hot dog costumes? John shows up at the house with the hot dog costume. I was like, I'll let you slide on this one. Hope everybody had a very safe, happy Halloween. Hope you got all the candy that you wanted. We got a lot of candy left over at the house.
I got 1 full-size Snickers in the shape of a New York Jet victory.
New York Jets, 21, Houston Texans, 13 last night on Thursday Night Football, and Garrett Wilson is the one-handed catch master.
That catch is top 5 best catches I've ever seen. It's better than Odell Beckham Jr. Because of how consequential it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheer fact that apparently Garrett Wilson's limbs bend in a way that I didn't know limbs bent in.
And he taught me something new about football. You apparently don't have to get 2 feet in.
No.
So
one appendage. Awesome. A shin, a knee, a keister, elbow.
It just feels
shoulder.
like we're changing the rules every day.
That's not new. It's been that way for a gajillion years.
I had no clue about it. The only thing I've ever heard, you got to get 2 feet in. Garrett Wilson's one left foot never came close to hitting that end zone.
But his shin did. That's enough.
Yikes.
That's not a new rule.
It
always blows my mind that we do this about every 4 years because that doesn't happen very often.
Mm-mm.
Very rarely do you have an elbow land down and neither of your feet did.
Right.
But it does happen.
Apparently so.
I saw it live and went, he's not in bounds.
No.
But man, I wish he was. And then every time they showed the replay, my head just started to turn more and more, and I went, maybe he is, though.
Good for your guys. You got to win. Now, the question's already been posed in the YouTube comments. The New York Jets don't suck?
All right, so I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, if you'll allow.
Go for it.
They never sucked. They just don't know how to win.
Mm.
You can't have the amount of talent that they have and suck. All right, name me the teams that do, that are just god-awful.
What, they have that kind of talent?
No. Name me the teams that are in the NFL that are that god-awful.
Oh, Tennessee Titans.
Okay, hold on. We'll go one by one.
Yep.
The New York Jets would have the 11 best players for the Tennessee Titans. Fact or fiction?
Sure, fact.
Carolina Panthers, same thing. New England Patriots, same thing. And you might throw in a stray Christian Gonzalez or a stray L'Jarius Sneed, Max Crosby. You get to 10, I got 9 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was never the problem. One of the problems was that you couldn't kick. And now that's really where I want to go with this.
Okay.
There's fact, and then there's fact. The New York Jets are 3-6.
Mm-hmm.
If they had even a competent kicker, they'd be 6-3. That's not an opinion; it's a straight up fact.
Mm-hmm.
You lost to the Buffalo Bills because you have a kicker that can't kick. You lost to the Denver Broncos because you have a kicker that can't kick. You lost to the New England Patriots because you have a kicker that can't kick. But you are still 3-6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take a lot away from last night. I was shocked that it happened. I take more away from the Houston Texans than I do the New York Jets. And I don't know if I'm looking at that the wrong way, but I don't think that I am.
Okay.
Houston's got a big old problem.
I was going to say, you can't keep your quarterback healthy. Or
Houston's
not healthy,
got a
but
huge
upright.
problem.
He was like 8 times last night.
He was hit 11 times. He was hurried over 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
He was, 11 of 30 last night or something?
Yes, sir.
God-awful like that?
Nailed it. 11 of 30.
I got issues with the Texans. You have problems.
Mm-hmm.
And really my biggest takeaway was who in the world in the AFC is going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't think there is one. I don't think there is one. Because I still look at Houston as the 2 or the 3 in the AFC, and you're so far behind them, it's comical.
Could be Baltimore, could be Buffalo,
yeah,
but who knows?
Trusting Baltimore is like trusting the girl that's cheated on you on Halloween every single year. Mm-hmm. She puts that costume on, I guarantee you, the second she walks out that door, you're puckered. Because you know, I know what happens on Halloween. That's the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs.
It sounds like you're speaking from personal experience.
What are you, a cop?
I'm sorry, brother. That's a lot to go through.
That's not.
Every Halloween?
That date better. You should date better. I married better, and then now I'm good. We're all hunky dunky now,
right?
But in my younger days, not awesome.
So how did this all unfold? How did you finally just find the end zone in the second half?
I don't know what was said at halftime, but that was definitely a different offense coming out in the second half. And what I think happened is Jeff Ulbrich probably got in the middle of that room and just went, boys, falafel it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we keep doing this, we're all fired anyway. What does it matter? And he looked at Todd Downing and said, I want you to just throw caution to the wind. I don't care anymore. Aaron Rodgers said it in the postgame. I was terrible in the first half, and he was.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't walk away and go, yeah, I feel great about this team. Am I going to be shocked if they lose to the Arizona Cardinals next week? Nope. Does help that you're on a long week and they're not. That helps.
Mm-hmm.
Also helps that they're catching a really perturbed group of Chicago Bears this week. But, I mean, it didn't change anything I've said. I told you there's a great chance the Jets are still going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
I haven't waffled on that.
Well, you shouldn't. I mean, this was the turnaround. At some point, there was going to be a turnaround coming, and the fact that it came this week against the Houston Texans as opposed to next week against the Arizona Cardinals, to me, that's the surprising part. The surprising part is that they beat, what were they, 6-2 coming into last night? They're 6-3 now. That was the surprising part, was the week that it came, not that if it was coming.
I asked a friend of mine that works in Vegas, why are the Jets a 2-point favorite? And he said it's very simple. You have two teams that are equally talented. One of them is completely desperate for a win. One of them is not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the team that is completely desperate for a win is at home, and they have abused this quarterback once before. And guess what? They did it again.
Yep.
Sometimes, it's like the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Over the last handful of years, sometimes you get a team that is better than another team, and those don't line up.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston doesn't line up. Their receivers are hurt, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about any of that. You line up and play a football game. Here's my question. Why could you not run in the second half? Joe Mixon ate the Jets' lunchbox in the first half. Yielded virtually nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, he was irrelevant. Why? And to me, that falls on Houston. Houston denigrated themselves last night far more than the Jets improved themselves. And, yeah, I'm rocking a Jets little pullover today. I feel, hey, we got a win. I got a reason to watch next week.
Right.
But as a Gambit fan said in our YouTube chat, am I still looking at this team going, ooh, fire hot? Yeah, I am. I don't trust you. I have very little belief that you're not going to lose one of these stupid games that don't make any sense. I also look at this team and go, if you could just kick a damn field goal, this whole narrative would be completely different. Because you'd be sitting at 6-3 and we'd be talking about them contending for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fickle the NFL is. That's why I laugh at people that get so lost into record and, well, they're obviously terrible because their record's bad. You're 3 missed field goals away from talking about a team going to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, we're talking about them as the biggest disaster in the history of football.
Right.
Not everything's equal. I was encouraged that apparently Devontae Adams can clear a concussion protocol quicker than anybody in the history of the NFL. They took him in the tent. I think they flashed a flashlight in his eyes, went, nope, he's good.
Nope, you're good.
Back out. Adam Schefter didn't even get the tweet sent before he was back on the field.
Right. 21-13. Jets get the win. 3-6 now. You got a lot of winnable games coming up on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So the possibility that this team is going to be 8-6, 9-6, pretty good.
They don't play another team that they will be a dog against, other than the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the line will be for the Cardinals. I think that really depends on what they do this weekend. The Cardinals is your season. If you go into Arizona and beat them, I believe you would beat the Colts, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're pretty much back to where we thought you would be anyway. Because you look at how we broke this schedule down, there were losses on it before. I think I had them going 11-6 or 10-7 in the preseason.
Something like that.
That's still on the table.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about running the table, which is comically stupid to me. But
why is it stupid?
Just shut up. You're
just don't talk about it. Just
yeah. Somebody asks, go, you won't play good. Try to play good. They're going to play pretty good.
Yeah.
Roll on. I don't need to hear we're going to run the table. The one takeaway I will say that I noticed last night, there are elements of this team that like each other way better than you would think.
Okay.
Breece Hall showed up in the postgame. You don't see guys do that very often. He just showed up to cut up with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Aaron's as hated in that locker room as people make it out to be.
Well, I mean,
winning's a great elixir, don't get me wrong.
No doubt. When you don't have anything to celebrate, you don't have anything to be happy about, there's no reason for guys to show up in the post game, right? Aaron's out there taking tough questions. I don't need to be a part of this.
Nope.
Like I'm
not going to help anything. I'm just going to hurt.
How many times when the Baltimore Ravens were losing games did Mark Ingram come out and yuck around with the press before Lamar hit the podium, right? You're going to remember him doing that during that 6-game winning streak that they had several years ago. You don't have atmospheres like that. You don't get to see it. And when you don't get to see it, then everybody else gets to make up their own narratives. Well, it was a very quiet locker room. Nobody's making eye contact with each other. I bet everybody's turning on Aaron because it's his fault that they're this. The rumor mill starts, and it doesn't have an exit ramp until you win a game.
This is where you will determine if Jeff Ulbrich is the future head coach of this team, if Aaron's going to play another year. Basically, the franchise depends on a game against the Arizona Cardinals. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Well, the franchise is going to hinge on every game from now on.
Oh, you got to get you're missing what I'm saying. You got to get rolling downhill.
Sure.
That's your best win since you beat them last year.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get another good win against the Cardinals, and then you start going in with some confidence against a Colts team that I think you're better than, a Rams team that I think you're better than, a Seahawks team that I think you're better than.
Mm-hmm.
What you can't get into is the every game is absolutely do or die, because I got news for you. None of them are. 9-8 is going to make the playoffs in the AFC. Now, you might get into tiebreakers and some nebulous stuff like that, but there are no do or die games. You've got to catch momentum. And that's my question is, are they going to be able to do that?
Yep. Every game from this point out becomes the biggest game of the season. And the Cardinals game next week definitely falls into that category. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, we'll discuss what does this mean for the Houston Texans. Does this mean that we tick them down on the power ranking because they can't block for C.J. Stroud to save their lives?
Well, it also has – I feel like last night served as a warning shot to a couple of other teams in the NFL that are pretty high-end contenders.
Mm-hmm. The Sportsocracy back in the Ingles studio after this.
Your ideal vacation? The beach? The mountains? The big city? We've got a better idea. An inflation vacation. Your chance to beat high prices with $1,000.
A $1,000 inflation vacation from ESPN Asheville.
Looking for a rewarding career with stability and purpose? The NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring correctional officers statewide with a $10,000 sign-on bonus, competitive pay, and benefits. Visit dac.nc.gov/co jobs.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks with an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
At Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are back to doing what they do best, caring for this Asheville community. Whether you're an existing patient, maybe you're facing a dental emergency, or you're ready to reestablish your care, Asheville Smiles is here for you. They are so proud to be a part of Asheville, where smiling means strength, resilience, and progress. Thanks to our community, we're Asheville strong, making incredible strides together. For compassionate, expert dental care with a hometown heart, trust Asheville Smiles. Online at ashevillesmiles.com.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmett Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're going to find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy.
If you keep talking like me in breaks, your mom's not going to let us hang out anymore.
Last night on Thursday Night Football, Garrett Wilson. I mean, I just got to shout him out again. I mean, the first one-handed catch for a touchdown was great. You can't expect much more out of a guy after that. And then coming down with that ball in the fourth quarter, where still, it just baffles me how someone can corral a catch like that and still be able to get a body part in.
Do you realize he has 10 more catches than any receiver in the NFL?
Really?
He has 60 receptions.
I did not know that.
Yeah, take a stab at who's 2. It's going to make you laugh when you find out.
Gosh, I was going to say like Justin Jefferson or something, but apparently.
No, he's way low.
Apparently
he's
not.
12.
Okay. Michael Pittman.
He's even lower. Chris Godwin is the right answer.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Who's already missed a game and will not play another game this year. He had 50.
That makes sense.
Brock Bowers is in between the two of them. He has the most for tight ends at 52.
Nice.
He's good at football.
He is. He is pretty good at football. Garrett Wilson, pretty good at football as well. Jets win over the Houston Texans 21-13. The Houston Texans came into the night with a problem. We all knew it was a problem, that they don't block all that well. The Jets came in with a pass rush that added Hassan Reddick. I saw Hassan got in on one of those sacks last night.
He had a couple. There's not really a great way to explain what he did. He had the assist because basically you leave everybody else one-on-one because you got to deal with Hassan Reddick.
Mm-hmm.
Will McDonald. Anybody that ever says that was a bad draft pick, you are a moron. Because that dude is real good at football.
He is. And C.J. Stroud got sacked 8 times last night.
He could have been sacked 15 times.
Yeah, what'd you say? There was 20 hurries?
I think it was 21 was the number I saw earlier.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot. That's getting after a quarterback. And we all know that the Jets have that ability. Houston was able to do nothing with it last night. So now begs the question, how do you fix this? What can you do? Is there a move you can make before the trade deadline to fix it, or is it a schematic problem, or how do we make sure that we don't do this again?
Well, schematically, there's not much you can do. Because this wasn't CJ's holding on to the ball too long. It's the problem that I ran into when we broke this game down yesterday. You got Xavier Hutchinson and Robert Woods trying to beat guys. They don't get open quickly. Do you know how many Houston Texans receptions were made last night not by Tank Dell?
5?
5. For, I think, 42
yards. There was only 3 dudes that caught passes last night.
I'm not going to sit here and say you have to go get another receiver. I believe you do. If you want to be high-level competitive, you're going to have somebody.
Well, isn't Nico coming back?
I don't care.
Okay.
Because the guy on the other side can't win at all. So I can leave that guy one-on-one because Robert Woods is irrelevant. Has been for years. He's a really good blocker. He can't do anything else. Xavier Hutchinson's not that guy. And when you have a line that the middle is just brutal. Quinnen Williams was toying with them last night. Look
Great
at how
costume, by the way.
Well,
he was the Joker.
He had the new Joker.
He did have the new Joker.
I'm okay with the new Joker. That's still that movie came out 2 weeks ago and is already straight to VHS.
Yes.
Folie à deux. It's the stupidest thing. We're gonna make it a musical. I don't think you should. I don't know that the Houston Texans are fixable, but it's a bigger. To me, what I saw last night is a bigger principle than just maybe Houston's not as good as we thought they were. The weight of expectation is incredibly heavy. And Houston's not adjusting to it very well. I was not overly concerned with them because they kept winning. Then I sat down and actually watched 60 minutes of one of their games last night. Let me ask you a question. What does Houston do well?
I mean, they run the ball pretty well, don't they?
At times.
I mean, Joe Mixon was good for the first half.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's a guy that I take back everything I said about him. He a dog.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't think he was as good as he is. They Joe Mixon pretty well. They do anything else particularly well on offense?
No.
Tank Dell?
He ain't even been good, though, has he?
Oh, yeah. He was hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not right now. I mean, he's good, but he hasn't been good.
He had 6 catches for 123 yards.
Did he?
Yeah, or 126
yards.
100. Against the best slot corner in the NFL. Yeah, I think Tank Dell's just fine. But what happens when C.J. Stroud doesn't have a C.J. Stroud game? Oh, you look awful. Last night, they looked awful for extended periods of time. They didn't get after Aaron Rodgers particularly well. By the way, this is a selfish shout-out as the Jets fan. Keith Carter, who I've always thought is one of the worst offensive line coaches in the NFL, that adjustment last night, buddy, that's masterclass. They shifted Olafashanu to guard. So they had him at guard. They had, I can't remember who the other one was. Max Mitchell was playing, who's played tackle. Okay. He was playing the other guard. They had 4 tackles on the field the entire game. 2 of them have never played guard before. It was impressive. They looked pretty good. It was one game. Might not look so good next week.
Right.
It's different when people expect you to be good. I think that's why I'm so impressed by the Detroit Lions. That's a team that doesn't really know how to win yet. You haven't been here long enough. Kansas City Chiefs know how to win. Buffalo Bills know how to win. Baltimore Ravens know how to win. They've been doing this for years, in large part together. Houston has no clue how to win. They just keep doing it. Now you're expected to be good, and they seem to be crumbling under that pressure. And the teams that I would be specifically looking at, the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. There was an expectation that Chicago would be better than they are. Losing to Washington in a game that didn't make a whole lot of sense, you can spiral there. I find Chicago-Arizona this week to be one of the most interesting games that we have. Because you get a Bears team that could spiral. If you don't do this right, you can spiral. You got a Cardinals team that has no expectations whatsoever. They're overachieving every single week. They're the Houston Texans of last year. You didn't expect me to be good, but I've got a good quarterback. I've got a couple weapons. The defense is overachieving. That's the number one kind of team I don't want to see. Confident, and they don't even know what they are right now. Because they play with their hair on fire. Washington's doing the same thing right now. You don't even know your deficiencies. Because you got a couple veteran guys that are just leading the charge, and you're letting momentum roll downhill. I've always laughed at the fact that people can't seem to grasp that the best 5 teams in the NFL and the worst 5 teams in the NFL, there is a talent discrepancy there. You get into that middle 22, they're all the same team.
Mm-hmm.
This one might have really good receivers and bad corners. This one might be really good on the interior of the offensive line and bad on the interior of the defensive line. And you start mixing those things around. They're still the same team. So it gets into how well you're coached, what momentum looks like, where your confidence level's at, and the week of practice that you had. That is what decides NFL games. Team to team, there's not a huge difference here. Unless you got a quarterback. Last night, the Houston Texans didn't have a quarterback.
So are you saying that Houston is part of the mushy middle?
I would say that's where they're at now, yeah.
No. No longer a no-doubt contender?
The league's catching up to C.J. Stroud, and some of the deficiencies that I saw in him when he was coming out are manifesting themselves. Look, he's still infinitely better than we thought he was going to be. Nobody thought he was going to be a top 5 quarterback a year into the league. And he is-ish. You'll get a week where he's top 3. And you'll get a week like this where he's Baker Mayfield light.
But that can only be expected. And I think that's part of when in the offseason when we kept doing the quarterback rankings and such and we were throwing CJ Stroud up there, I kept saying, yeah, but it's just 1 year. We've been through this with so many quarterbacks. I remember going through it with Justin Fields just a couple of years ago. Or not Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts a few years ago. He automatically jumped up into the top 5 after having a good year, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe not.
There's a
maybe
huge
the
merit
things
to that,
around
too.
him.
Jalen Hurts is actually an elite example of that. The league caught up to Jalen Hurts. He doesn't have another pitch.
Yeah.
I'll make a baseball analogy. I know. It's Friday. I'm in a good mood. We're good.
Good.
John Rocker. John Rocker was a closer for the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
He had 1 pitch.
Yep.
He had a second pitch, which was fine. And if you're expecting fastball, what was it? He was throw a curve or a slider. I can't remember which one it was.
I was thinking it was the sinker.
It might have been a sinker.
I think it was the sinker.
You would know better than I did. You were there when he was there. I look at Jalen Hurts much like I look at John Rocker.
I'm not that old, by the way.
Are you not?
No.
Huh. I don't know why I thought you were.
I mean, I wasn't there for it.
Jalen Hurts has no second pitch.
Right.
I can do one thing. I'm big and athletic and physical, and I can run, and you have to keep that guy in the box. Well, what happens when you don't have to keep that guy in the box? Because what the league figured out is I'm not really worried that you're going to beat me that way. You can contend with me that way, but if I've got an elite quarterback, I'm going to beat you. If my team is better than you, I'm going to beat you. Jalen Hurts preys on bad teams because they don't have the personnel to keep up with him. I am starting to worry that there are some things with C.J. Stroud that are not as hunky-dunky as we thought. The NFL is always going to figure you out, no matter who you are.
Yep.
There have been 2 exceptions to that in my lifetime, Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. They even figured out Peyton Manning in large part. He was just so damn good that you couldn't stop it. What do those 2 have in common? Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, what do those 2 have in common? Why have they been so hard to game plan over the course of time?
Because they're willing to change.
Exactly. Schematically, as soon as you figure out what I'm doing, the little Patriot pick, awesome. What am I going to do now? I'm going to use the fact that I know you're going to bait on that, and I'm going to start hitting you over the top.
Yep.
Then you have to start pulling that safety back, and I can run the Patriot pick again. Pat Mahomes with the arm angles. Okay, you're going to send that pass rusher at me? Awesome. He can literally throw to second base underneath your arm. So what do? You stop sending the pass rusher. And it's just a constant cycle of chess match. I'm going to out-chess you. Brady does it flawlessly, did it flawlessly. Pat Mahomes does it flawlessly. Not everybody else does. Trevor Lawrence ran into this. He's a great example. The league figured him out in 2 years. He has no second pitch. A good offensive coordinator could get it out of him, but he can't get it out of himself. And that's what separates good from elite.
Yep.
And C.J. Stroud now has to figure out, am I a really good quarterback or am I an elite quarterback? Last night, you weren't elite.
And every quarterback has, even elite quarterbacks obviously have non-elite games. We've seen Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. We've seen all these guys have those games where it's like, what were you thinking? Where were you? The question is, how inconsistent are you going to be? How many times does this show up? Now, this is a 6-3 team. It's not like the world is ending.
No.
But how are you going to rally the troops? Say, I don't know, next week.
There's a good point in the chat from Matthew Hoffman who said, did you notice that CJ's feet got happy? That's a line that I've used a lot. There is a huge difference between a bad game, bad day, and bad mechanics. I'm seeing bad mechanics out of CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
You let those take hold, they're really hard to get out of. When you get hit this often, your feet are going to get happy because the clock in your head starts dwindling. You think you have 2.4 seconds. Well, if you have 1.8, all of a sudden, 1.8 starts feeling like 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
And so you start getting really uncomfortable of, clock's running out. Gotta. And that is where sometimes you see guys that look like they're on an elite path that just completely stall out because you don't have the pieces around them.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the Houston Texans don't have the pieces around C.J. Stroud for them to be a high-level playoff competitor. They're a talented team. They're a really talented defense. They get after quarterbacks well. The secondary is good. Ish. Watching them last night, I can't say that's a great secondary. Because it's not. It's a good pairing with the pass rush. Defensively, I have very little fears. I have some legit fears offensively.
Yeah. And if you can't block, that's the problem. Already under duress leading up to this game, and then the Jets sacked him 8 times, rushed him 21 times, or whatever it is. Next week, they got the Detroit Lions. Did the Detroit Lions make a move for a pass rusher? Have to, right?
I believe so.
So they're going to add to their pass rush, and that's going to be a problem. Then you got to face Micah Parsons the next week. Then you got to face the Titans, who have a pretty good pass rush. After that, there's a path here where this can snowball out of control. I'm not saying they lose all of those games, but you keep banging him in the face, and he's going to get rattled.
I have a theory on offensive coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a guy like Bobby Slowick. All right, Bobby Slowick's been the coordinator of the Texans for 2 years. We fully believe he's going to be a head coach in this league, right?
Yeah.
Do we actually know he can get C.J. Stroud out of this? Hoffman asked, do you think this is a long-term effect? That falls on the coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that's coaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Coordinators get so hot so fast in the NFL, 9 times out of 10, they leave before problems arise. So I don't know if you could fix it. As a head coach, you better be able to fix it because you're going to have problems.
Yep.
Bobby Slowick right now is going to show in the next 8 weeks, are you an NFL head coach or are you just a good coordinator? Because you got a problem and you're going to have to fix it. And if you do fix it, I want you to be the head coach of my football team. If we go into wild card weekend and C.J. Stroud is still dancing around in the pocket, I probably don't want you to be my head coach because you can't fix this.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a great scheme in there, and just like I said about those quarterbacks, you don't have a second pitch either. That's the difference between Andy Reid and, Adam Gase. Or any other coordinator that you've seen become a head coach and they look completely incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys can put together a good scheme. Can you lead and manage men? We're about to find out.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as the front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. It's going to be out this weekend, dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler, a high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. If you have a gun, you have a responsibility to lock it up, to keep it safe every single time. Visit ncsafe.org to learn more. That's ncsafe.org.
iHeartRadio has the 2024 presidential election covered with Decision 2024. Listen for real-time results and updates as the votes come in. From key races to national trends, our team will cover it all. Tuesday night, stay informed and stay connected on the go with your free iHeartRadio app. Just search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
A people-first presidency.
Make America great again.
Decision 2024 on iHeartRadio.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Nashville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. Just check out some of their Google reviews. One user writes, "I'd been avoiding visiting the dentist for years due to poor experiences in the past. I had quite a few visits and procedures at Summit in the last year, and each and every one was made comfortable by the staff that work there. They're all kind and compassionate and take extra time to make sure your comfort level is right where it should be." Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, and I am so excited to let you know that my latest podcast interview is with the one and only Tom Hanks.
I have left many wonderful atmosphere or a loving atmosphere without thinking, oh, things were really wonderful back then. I wish I was back there. Jay, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search On Purpose.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
As we're recovering from Hurricane Helene, count on Lowe's for help with cleanup and repair, with necessities like roofing, lumber, and electrical in the quantities you need. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area, or get emergency supplies now.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a
Football Friday.
Ah, yes, it is. And working through our games in the NFL here, we will give you the previews of all 14 of the games that are left this week. However, first we got to do some business here, as we got a super chat to get to.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, this one comes to us from Mr. Patrick Holt. It says, friendly reminder that Halloween candy, half off today. Let's go beat us.
Diabetes.
It is your opportunity to go get that half-price candy. So.
Done do it.
Oh, did you?
With the old Reese's candy cups.
The candy cups?
The little tiny ones.
Oh, the little
I wanted
minis.
the bigger ones. They were out. That's fine. I got it's post-Halloween time. You don't get your first choice.
Yep. We don't. I did notice not an abundance of the Halloween candy stock around the area that we normally see. Obviously, we've had some supply issues here in Western North Carolina. So. But I did notice that last night when we went to, or yesterday afternoon when we went to get some candy. I was thinking, wow, these shelves are way barer than they used to be. So there may not be much of a surplus to be had on the sales. So you might want to hit the sales early. That's the only point that I'm making here. All right, let's get into this week's games. Week 9 in the NFL. Where did the season go?
Davey hit me with a niner.
First game, on our sister station, News Radio 570 WWNC. It is a noontime broadcast for a 1 o'clock kickoff as the New Orleans Saints come to Bank of America Stadium to take on the Carolina Panthers. Derek Carr, your starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Bryce Young, starting for the Carolina Panthers. Do you expect, Jeremy, the Carolina Panthers to pull an upset here? Because, I mean, they beat anybody. It's an upset.
Is it, though?
I mean, you're the last team in the league.
I'm taking Carolina plus 7.
I am, too. I am, too. And I really didn't think about it all that hard. Because the Saints have just been that bad. Flashback to 6 weeks ago. And I know a lot's happened, and I know injuries have happened, and a whole lot of Dennis Allen dumbassery has happened. But there was a moment where we thought the New Orleans Saints might be good. And then Derek Carr gets hurt, misses 3 games in the middle of a losing streak. And now you're sitting here at 2-6, hoping to God that you can turn your season around against the worst team in the NFL.
Well, the Saints have been overtaken by injuries. And at this point, this team's just not very good. Your line's crushed.
Mm-hmm.
I do think New Orleans probably wins this game, but I think it should be a field goal, not a touchdown.
Yeah.
I also think if you watch more than a quarter of this game and you're not a fan of the Saints or the Panthers, you are a masochist, and you should talk to somebody about that.
Yes, indeed. New Orleans, I would not take Carolina straight out to win this game. But I will definitely not be on the New Orleans side with a full touchdown.
I'm not touching this game for anything except the under.
Under the 43.5.
Yes. And that I like a lot.
Final score.
2017.
Okay. All right. I'm on the over. Because I don't think either of these defenses are really all that good. So
the offenses aren't either.
Well, I understand that. But I still think they got the ability to score some points in this game. 43 that's a pretty low number.
A lot of the bets on the over, a lot of the money on the under.
Oh, the sharp money's on the under?
To me, that's a bad line.
Mm-hmm.
It should be lower than that. These two teams should be 39.5 at best. I'm not saying it should be 36 like we saw with the Chargers and somebody.
Yeah. Was that the Browns?
It was somebody bad. It might have been the Browns.
Maybe.
It was somebody bad. I remember that much.
Yeah. All right, so we're both on Carolina plus the 7. You're going under the 43.5. I'll go over the 43.5.
Yes.
For that game. Kicks off 1 o'clock on Sunday. And again, you can hear it on our sister station, News Radio 570, WWNC. Let's go with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Cincinnati. I mean, I got Cincinnati to cover.
I hate giving up 7 full points. That being said,
I was going to say, but
I'm gonna. I don't know how the Raiders are going to deal with Jamar Chase. I don't know how they're going to deal with Joe Burrow. The biggest problem that I see for the Raiders is that you're so one-dimensional that it makes you easier to defend.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to. The one thing I worry about as a coach of the Cincinnati Bengals would be the fact that we haven't been great at stopping the run this year.
No, they don't run it. So
exactly, Las Vegas can't do that. Even if they tried, I don't think that they could really do it. Maybe Zamir has 60 yards this week, 65.
Zamir White, I don't even think's playing.
Is he not?
Oh, he's been usurped.
By who? Lobby?
Alexander Madison.
Oh,
Dylan Lobby is playing some snaps.
Yeah. I forgot about Alexander Madison. This is it's off the rails, and Cincinnati is still in a position where have to have it.
I agree. I do think this game will be close for a while, though. I think Cincinnati pushes it out late. I do have a little bit of interest in Alexander Madison this week, though.
Okay.
I could see him falling in the end zone twice. If you're looking for a cheap play on DFS sites, I think you could do worse than Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cincinnati minus the 7, over under the 46.
Over.
Over. Okay. All right. I'm on the under.
I will go over.
Let's see. Next one up in the 1 o'clock slate. Washington and the New York Giants.
Why is this only a 3.5-point spread?
We both had the same question. How do you get there? How do you get? I mean, is this just based on the fact that it is a division game and there's going to be some emotion involved? We're in New York. What because Washington minus 4 seems like the layup of the week.
I'm always nervous when you get a line like that because that usually tells me somebody knows something that I don't know. I don't know what that could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't care. Because I don't think I don't see how the Giants can keep up in a shootout with the Washington Commanders. The over-under feels insanely low. 44 seems low in any game that Jaden Daniels plays in.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I almost feel like Vegas is hedging their bets, that they think this game is close, but if it's not close, then the under is the side to have. So I'm going to go under in Washington.
I mean, so the only thing, correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, okay? So the only thing that the New York Giants defense is good at,
rushing passer,
is getting after the quarterback. Washington's offensive line that bad? Is going to bring Jaden Daniels off of the MVP pace that he's on?
Well, they could be on a backup tackle. There is a possibility of that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that worries you. I just feel like it's worrying you too much. Because I don't know who's going to deal with Terry McLaurin.
Right.
I love Jaden Daniels in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And defensively, I don't think they're going to struggle with Daniel Jones.
No. New York can't score.
No.
Malik Neighbors may get away for a play or two.
Oh, Malik Neighbors is I would say, a formidable selection.
Wandale apparently has quite the rapport.
He has 1 million catches for about 48 yards.
Yeah, maybe he breaks one or something. It could be a way that I just. You're right. I mean, what you said earlier absolutely stands for this game. How are you going to score? How are you going to get into a shootout with this team? Do you know the most amount of points that New York has put up in a single game this year?
20?
Yeah. They haven't scored more than 20 points in any week. And I feel like the Washington Commanders could trot out on that field and score 20 with their eyes closed against that defense. Washington minus 4. The over-under
44
is 44. I'm over. No, I'm under.
I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm going under. It is 30-0. Maybe 30-3.
I'll go 27-10. But I must admit, that is a weird line, and I always get a little cagey when we have weird lines like that.
Yeah, it does. It does give one pause when you see things like that. But there again, Washington in the money line, can't miss.
We'll also go one more game here because we only have 2 sets of bangers this week.
Okay.
I dug and dug and dug trying to find, and I couldn't come up with 5 more that I could feel even halfway good about giving.
All right, then let's go with the Patriots and the Titans. 1 o'clock kickoff in Nashville. The Patriots are in town, and they are a 3.5-point dog to the Tennessee Titans.
You sound like that surprises you.
I don't know. I mean, I did 3.5. Seems a little much. I don't know.
Young kid on the road.
I thought it might be closer.
Young kid on the road against a really good defense.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also bringing a pretty decent defense to go against a team that I don't believe in your offense. I guess I'm just surprised that it's more than a field goal. Because it's hard for me to see Tennessee beating anybody by more than a field goal.
It's not for me. I mean, look, the defense is solid. Mason Rudolph showed an ability to score points. They're also coming off one of the more impressive showings they've had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand, look, you didn't beat Buffalo, but you did play with Buffalo.
They did.
And they're coming off a bye, too, aren't they? I think they were on a bye last week.
No, they got they should have been on a bye. They got killed by the Detroit Lions last week.
I put that out of my brain.
They put up 50. They let the Lions put up 52 on them last week.
Yeah, that was. I've already buried the tape in my own brain, so it was like it didn't
actually.
happen.
You know what? They may have been on the bye last week, and somehow the Water Boys scored twice against the Detroit Lions. I mean, part of me wants to take New England, but I can't.
This is a difficult game for me. I'm going to go with my gut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel wonderful about it.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily see it coming back to bite me in the keister. That's what I'm doing.
Is it too late to change my mind? Because now the more I think about it, the more I'm going New England. I'll go New England plus 3.5. Because as I just said, I mean, I feel the same way about Tennessee. I can't.
I'm leaning on.
I can't see them really beating anybody by 3.5 by more than a field goal. But I don't see New England winning this game by more than a point.
I'm leaning on the under more than. I mean, if you don't want to pick this game, you and I don't have that choice. But as a fan,
stay away.
If you want to bet this game, just stay away from it. But you can take the under with some great. I'll say with some great confidence because I don't see any way they score over that. And if you feel the same way I do, then you should probably take that to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's raining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the two letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
With 2 convenient locations, Singleton's Automotive will keep your vehicle on the road. Singleton's offers routine maintenance, BG services, tires, inspections, alignments, and more in their family-owned shops. Singleton's Automotive is hiring technicians for both locations. Receive competitive pay and benefits depending on experience. Visit singletonsautomotive.com. That's singletonsautomotive.com. Car care with character.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as a front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. It's going to be out this weekend, dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler, a high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's always bow time.
It's bow time. The Pork Chop Griller is back at Bojangles for a limited time. We know you missed it, because when you take a tender pork chop and sandwich it on a made-from-scratch biscuit, it's not a flavor you want to say goodbye to. It's bow time.
WWNC.com.
With live, local breaking news.
And the latest weather and traffic updates.
It's the website preferred by 9 out of 10 people who want to know what's going on.
News Radio 570, WWNC.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I'm super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it, back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the chat. Join us in the chat as well. All of your thoughts in on this weekend's games. You got a question you want to throw out there for the weekend as well. Feel free to do that. Fantasy questions, anything like that, because we're always willing to talk some football on a
Football Friday.
Indeed we are. And going through.
For me, it's tomorrow.
Yep.
The college slate is so bad that I'm playing 36 holes of golf.
Well,
so
good for you.
Say a prayer for a lot of little fluorescent red, orange, and green balls. I am going to hurt your feelings.
It is about time. I don't think you've played golf in several months.
Other than golf trip. I did play on that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you went on
that.
You went on that little
the
little beach trip.
I did. Best friend on the planet. His wife's going to a funeral this weekend, so I'm gonna steal down for a couple days. That's one of those relationships that he and I've been friends for 30 some odd years, and you may talk 3 times a week, or you may talk 3 times in fiscal quarter, and it's fine.
And you always pick back up where you left off.
It's always just like, hey, we know. It's the best kind of friendship you can have.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we'll get back into the Week 9 games in the NFL, but first we got a super chat.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, we are back here with Sir Jimothy. Sorry, I lost the I lost the super chat there.
I
on the
can
screen.
always tell when you're dancing and have done that.
Sir Jimothy says, tonight Asheville High and AC Reynolds, big game in the MAC conference. Says, go Rockets. Fairview needs a morale boost. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people around here could use some morale boosts. When it comes to football, I don't know that. Obviously the magic's gonna be there. We can already kind of see how this book is going to be written because it's a very good football team, as it always is out there at Reynolds. They'll win tonight. I have very little doubts that they will come up with a win tonight against Asheville High. Asheville High is a pretty tough team. Max Guest running the quarterback spot. That's going to turn very Rico Dowdley here pretty soon, where he's accounting for 17 touchdowns a game. But yeah, it's we're on a collision course to next Friday night when Irwin and Reynolds get together for the final game of the season, of the regular season anyway, and that will be for the MAC title between those two, and you'll be able to hear it right here on ESPN Asheville, and of course on our sister station News Radio 570 WWNC. Tonight you will hear the Asheville High Cougars and the AC Reynolds Rockets meet Slidell against Max Guest. Should be a fun one. Pregame starts at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. In the NFL this weekend, next 1 o'clock game. Let's go Chargers Browns.
There's a game that I didn't think would have any interest whatsoever about 7 days ago.
But now, with Jameis Winston playing, you got the bump last week. He came up with the big play at the end of the game, and apparently everybody is just now catching on to how stupid his pregame speeches are.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we already went through this when he was in Tampa. Did everybody just forget that he's an idiot?
Do we not remember we got to tell them we dogs.
Oh,
we all dogs.
Eating dubs. Did y'all forget about him eating dubs? That was crazy.
He was my quarterback at Florida State for 3 years, so I've gotten to hear a lot of these. And I love his enthusiasm. Buddy, write it down, because sometimes you say things that don't make no sense. You put the verb and the noun in there and just doing a little square dance with each other.
I'm just curious. Does he ever practice these?
Oh, no. No, if you've never watched Jameis Winston on social media, that guy is wildly entertaining. Not 100% sure he means to be, but he is wildly entertaining. I learned the other day there's not a fast food place on the earth that he doesn't like. He top 10 ranked. He did the random TikTok filter of ranking whatever pops
Right.
up on the screen, and
Right.
he liked them all. They were all fantastic. It's like, no, they're not. Because Subway was one of them, which
Yeah, that's not fantastic.
in a list of 10, Subway should finish 29th.
Thank you. I think that's about the only fast food place I feel that way about. I know you hate Long John's, so Long John's would be
That's
way
not
down on
food.
the list.
Yeah, it's not food.
It's just not food.
It's not food. It's sorry. I just know if you like it.
Yeah.
If you tell me my favorite fast food place is Long John Silver's, you are fractionally. I mean, you are one bad week at the track away from eating cat food. So that's where you're at.
It's not that bad.
It's terrible.
It is not that bad.
Yeah, if that's fish, that fish came out of Lake Julian. And it has had some nuclear radioactivity around it, and it had 11 eyes. You remember those fish that came out of the lake in The Simpsons?
Yeah, they had
like
three
9
eyeballs.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've always pictured they're cooking at Long John Silver's. It's just a really big goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we breaded it. Awesome. And then you fried it in grease that was changed during the Obama administration.
No, it's cod. I think your cod has a disease.
Your cod needs a doctor. Bad.
No doubt.
Cod has 3 letters. Bad has 3 letters.
Mm-hmm.
You're switching the words.
Okay, so the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. Back to football. Yeah, that thing we do.
Yeah.
This line is stupid. I was right last week, and I'll be right this week. This should be more than a 1.5-point spread. Give me the Chargers. They win going away. Jameis Winston will throw 2 interceptions or more this week.
Planting the flag. No doubt about it.
They got the bump last week. Jameis Winston has not gotten a shot as a starting quarterback in the NFL basically since he left Tampa Bay, and there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is notorious. Jameis Winston is probably the only quarterback I've ever seen that is worse when he is confident. Because he has all the talent in the world, and he thinks he can make every throw.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that defense and go, you're going to lay back and let him make the mistake.
You know why? Because you got a smart coach. Because you got a smart coach that's going to go out there and say, look, guys, you don't really have to do much here. All we got to do is just not let this get out of control. Let's not let them run the ball down our throats. And he's going to eventually give it to us. And the only thing we got to make sure to do is when he gives it to us, we turn that into some kind of points. I don't know when Los Angeles is a team that I look at and I feel like when is this going to happen? When are you going to do something that makes me go, okay, now I believe?
With the Chargers?
Right.
They're not.
Because I feel like this is a talented team. I like your coach. I just don't. It's not clicking in.
They're still trying to figure out who they are.
Mm-hmm.
If this and look, I'll be honest with you. If this game had been last week, I'd have taken the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Jameis Winston, and I know Humorous comes shortly before the fall. And if it ain't this week, it will certainly be next week. So if Jameis has another good game, which is it's in the realm of possibilities,
yep,
and the Browns win this game, you take however much discretionary income you have and bet it against him next week.
Because invariably, he's going to let you down.
Extra syllable there the first time.
Yes.
Invariably.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that happens. We're both on the Los Angeles Chargers minus the 1.5 over under the 41.5, 42.5?
Under.
It's 42.5 on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Under.
Going under.
Didn't think about it for any time, really. The under, I didn't think about at all.
Really?
I didn't think about the winner much.
Mm-hmm. All right, and 1 o'clock game also between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons.
Without a doubt, the hardest pick of the week.
It's 3.5-point spread. Atlanta is the favorite at home. Why is this so hard?
I want to take Dallas so bad that I can taste it. But I can't make my mouth make those noises.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Falcons are better than the Cowboys, and I know that.
Yes,
and they're at home, and I think they have the better coach. Mm-hmm. So you have all the advantages. But this line stinks to high holy Christmas. And I feel like this is going to be one of those weird Dallas Cowboy weeks where they keep this really close, and then Dak makes the terrible decision late, and Jesse Bates gets him, and Atlanta covers this number. But, man, I don't like it. And if you don't have to wager it, which you don't.
I don't like this. I don't like this game at all for Atlanta. However, I can't believe in Dallas at all.
I don't believe in Dallas.
I'm on Atlanta as well. I'll take them to cover the 3.5. But this screams to me of that game. That game where every Atlanta Falcon fan is going to be breaking a television at some point. You think you should win this game? You feel confident you're going to win this game. It's kind of like your theory with me and believing in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, not a theory.
The Atlanta Falcons are they're the same. We're all the same franchise, really, in the NFC South.
That's not a theory. That's like the Sasquatch doctrine. If you don't believe in Sasquatches, you might be out in the woods and see somebody that looks like, I don't know, me, and go, was that a Sam Squanch? Because it might have been.
Uh-huh.
If you go out in the woods, Sam Squanch hunting, you're certainly not going to find squat. And I don't care how many times you make a Sasquatch call. Loo, 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 loo. Not going to show up.
It's not the Sam Squanch noise.
You do that to your balloon face. It's never going to happen.
It's like a dog and a seal had a baby or something. I mean, is there anything that Dallas is going to be able to do against Atlanta that would be surprising to you? Like it's not going to be surprising to see Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb hooking up.
I don't know. I guess I just look at Atlanta and go, you have two of the best safeties in the NFL. And I don't see how you're not going to be able to at least limit CeeDee Lamb, especially with A.J. Terrell on him. And then I get to the offensive side of the ball and go, how in the world are you going to stop anything that they do? I have about 8 metrics that I use to bet games. Atlanta was a perfect 8 for 8. And yet I still keep looking at this going, that line is so stupid that it doesn't make even a lick of sense. And I know Vegas likes to screw with Cowboy fans because it's easy. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I actually think they believe Dallas can win this game.
Yeah. But there's a path here where we have 200-yard rushers for the Atlanta Falcons because Dallas still can't stop the run.
Nope.
And Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier could probably beat them both or beat the entire team single-handedly. And I don't see Dallas being able to move the ball because as much as I want it to be, this ain't going to be Reynolds High School Rico Dowdle coming out against the Atlanta Falcons, which is probably what you would need to win this game.
See, now I want nothing more than to watch Mike McCarthy make the Sasquatch noise for 60 minutes.
They're going to make him do it after they fire him.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he keeps his job. You got to make the noise on national television.
That's his next job. He'll be a Sasquatch hunter in Montana. Oh, it's super squatchy. We got him. We got him bent down. That's a job he's actually qualified for.
Man, we're dumb. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll break down more of the 1 o'clock slate up next.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Who will be crowned king of the court? Find out at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Opt in, get a daily NBA Profit Boost token. Pick a pregame NBA player prop to boost to lead the league that night in points plus rebounds plus assists and win a share of $1 million in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One NBA prop bet profit boost per customer. Tokens expire at the start of the final NBA game each day when offered. Use token on PRA Stat Leader to receive equal share of $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 168 hours. Additional wagering restrictions apply. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is where it starts, where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Anybody watching on the YouTube channel can tell right now that Jeremy doesn't like Cracker Jacks. What
is wrong with you?
What are you talking about? It's caramel popcorn. What's not to like?
That is one of the grossest things I have ever eaten.
Your taster is broken. What is wrong with you?
Oh. I asked Tank in the break because he had a bag of Cracker Jacks. I was like, what is a Cracker Jack? I've never had one before. So he just hands it to me.
Yeah.
Ugh. That makes me think of that song completely different. Buy me a box of Cracker Jacks. You buy me a box of Cracker Jacks, we're going to fight. That's not food. They should serve that at Long John Silver's for sure. That's what they bred the chicken. That's what they bred the fish in. I figured it out.
You're a weird man.
Ugh. That is disgusting.
How do you not like caramel popcorn?
Well, because that has the consistency of a styrofoam peanut. So,
well, I mean, it's popcorn. It typically does.
Not like that. That's like fake popcorn.
Well, of course it is. It's got to be so it can sit in these boxes and bags for 6 years.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that bag right there was made in 1997.
No, it's too new for that because they're actually celebrating women in sports, and nobody did that until a week ago. So, I mean,
would be at Sports Tech ESPN.
What, did I say something wrong? Straight facts, bro. It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy.
I'm about to get 20 messages of new tank. There's a new tank. New tank's taking no prisoners.
NFL Week 9. Again, kind of hard to believe we're this far into the season. But here we be. we left off with the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Our good friend Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel, he was going to join us this week, but he actually left Atlanta because his Dallas Cowboys were coming to town. He's like, you know what? They're coming into town. I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. I can't be here to witness the atrocity that is the 2024 Dallas Cowboys. And I don't blame him. That's a game I'd run away from as well. You look like you wanted to say something. New
Tank is wild. Mark Sterling told me this morning, you broke him. You broke this man.
It's been a lot of trauma in the last couple of years. Just saying.
He's out of falafels to give, folks.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Take no prisoners. Yep, there come the
there
messages.
They go. There
New
they
Tank
go.
is wild.
Okay. Next up on the list here, 1 o'clock slate on Sunday afternoon. We've got the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. It's a 9.5-point spread, and that's not near enough. I mean, this is one of those games that if Baltimore doesn't just beat the holy hell out of them, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. Oh, dear. He's giving me that look like Denver plus 9.5.
I mean, if you're going to say it, well, I don't have to.
Stop.
I'm taking Denver plus 9.5.
Why?
That number's too high. You know my rule on spreads that big. That's reserved for really bad against really good. I think you have pretty really good against pretty really bad.
Okay.
It's too many points.
So they're not bad enough to have a...
Denver Broncos are not a bottom 8 team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're a top 8 team in the NFL either. But that number is straight up disrespectful, and I will take that number. With a defense that good, I could easily see Lamar, and look, you can call me crazy if you want to, Las Vegas Raiders. Lamar really loves to have games where he comes in with just a little bit too much confidence, and then all of a sudden you turn around and he's turned it over twice, and they wind up winning by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about a touchdown game. 9.5 is disrespectful, and I can't believe the number's gone up.
Okay. I mean, I just feel like it had to be everyone's looking at this from the perspective I am of I'm not impressed by anything Denver has done.
Ask yourself this question.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the money do you think is on which side of that game? And I honestly don't know. I'm assuming because I didn't look. I saw that number and went, I don't care.
I would probably say it's evenly split with a number that high.
70% of the money's on Denver. Because they're seeing the same thing I am. The market that I have on that game was 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me a full field goal over that. It's too much. It's too much.
Okay. How do they take advantage? How does Denver take advantage?
Offensively, they don't. I genuinely think this is the easiest under bet of my entire life. I saw 46.5 and laughed out loud. Because this game has 20-13 written 100% all over it. And I will say Bo Nix gets a short field to score their one touchdown. They kick 2 field goals. Baltimore gets it to about 50 routinely and then can't get it any further.
Mm-hmm. And they get shut. I mean, it's just a field goal game? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said it'd be 20-13 Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore will hit a big play on the side opposite Pat Surtain. They'll get Zay Flowers or Deontay Johnson over there. I wager Deontay Johnson probably gets in the end zone in this game. But I just that's too many points.
Well, okay. All right.
I'll put it this way. The way that I do this is I have a number for every team.
Mm-hmm.
Of just because you showed up, I'm either taking away 3.5 points, giving 3.5, whatever the case may be. I believe in Lulu more than I believe in the Denver Broncos. I still have Denver as a net 2 negative. No team in the NFL is more than 3.5 positive. So you can do math. That's where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, except Kansas City. They are a net 5.
All right. I see I see Denver or Derrick Henry having a hell of a game in this one.
That's the funny thing. I don't like Derrick Henry in this game
really?
At all.
Really?
Nope.
Think he'll be bottled up?
Pat Surtain's going to be on Zay Flowers, I will say 90% of this game.
Mm-hmm.
They will load that box up and say, Lamar Jackson is going to have to beat us. You're not just going to run it down our throats. And they have the personnel to do it.
Yep. All right. He's on Denver, plus the 9.5. I'm on Baltimore, minus the 9.5 in the 1 o'clock game. Over, under, 46, under.
Under.
And final 1 o'clock game on Sunday, the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills.
Go ahead. We've already talked about this game before the show, and I already know you're getting ready to say something.
Oh, it's
ridiculous.
Buffalo minus 6, and it ain't close. I mean, I don't care. I don't care that Tua's coming back. I don't care that you still have those
coming
weapons
back.
out
He's
there.
already come back. This is week 2.
Nah.
He's already played one of these, and he was not really what beat you last week. Your
No.
defense is what beat you last week.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. I just don't think you're good on either side of the ball.
I don't think Buffalo is as good as the market bears them out. I believe this number is spot on. I am going to very cautiously take Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this game is going to be really – I actually think this will be one of the best games of the weekend.
I do not. I think this is going to be a blowout.
Which is funny because now you have your quarterback back. You believed in Miami way more than I did. And now all of a sudden they're one of the worst teams in the league to you. And I can't really wrap my brain around why that is.
I mean, because they have been. They had
Tua for one of those weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a game that, honestly, they had pretty well in hand for the vast majority of it, and then they collapsed at the end against, I think, a pretty decent Arizona Cardinal team. This is one of the most entertaining games of the weekend, and for me, it's not close. It's in the top handful. I haven't done my list for our daily draft of where to go yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the list, but I have very little interest in this game.
I don't think this is the blowout that everybody else seems to be. Look, I've had several people tell me, I'm all over Buffalo minus the 6, and I have very quickly said I would pump the brakes on that very aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of lines I like this week. That ain't one of them. Josh Allen has been an absolute Dolphin killer.
Mm-hmm.
That does not last forever unless you're Tom Brady and it's the New York Jets. Because I've heard that narrative about a lot of dudes, or Aaron Rodgers and the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm. Chicago Bears.
That was what I was thinking,
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. I've heard that narrative about a lot of guys, and there is invariably always a week where it's, oh my good Lord, what happened this week? And I don't know what it is. I have a funny feeling that week. I think Josh Allen's going to throw 3 picks this week.
Wow.
For me, it's the Mandela effect. I didn't know he only had 3 turnovers this entire season. Now that I know that, he's finna double it because that's what he does.
I mean, he's gonna. It's not gonna continue, or you shouldn't expect it to continue. Yeah, I just don't think it's coming this week. I will happily be on the Buffalo side of that one. Over under 49. That's a over. Not a lot, but so
under.
Okay. All right.
We have a series of super chats we need to get to before we go into this break, and of course, now my screen froze. Tank's been around my computer too long, and my screen froze. Sir Jimothy with the first one. He said Subway's the official sponsor of Penn State University, so that's going to be the number 1 pick in our daily draft. Don't be gross.
That's why he said it.
I don't know that.
You should. Good for you, Sir Jimothy. It's Hurricane Jimothy, by the way.
No, it's Hurricane Tank. Or, as I have effectively referred to him, New Tank for quite some time.
All right, another one.
I can't see any of the rest of them, so you're going to have to read them.
All right, another one from Sir Jimothy here that says, Goff or Sammy D? Sammy D or Hurts? 2 different leagues. All right, so this is a fantasy question. Goff or Sammy D?
I will go Darnold.
All All right, and then Sammy D or Hurts in the other league.
Who's Philadelphia play this week?
Philadelphia is on.
My whole computer is frozen up, so I am full on Little House on the Prairie right now.
Philadelphia's playing the Jags in Philly.
I will hedge my bets over Jalen Hurts. I still think I would like Sam Darnold better, but splitting those two up.
Mm-hmm.
I like Darnold a lot this week.
I do too, because he's playing the Colts.
And he is really good at dissecting zone defense.
And then I think we got another one over here.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
From Great North, our buddy Armchair Commentary. Tank, Jeremy's a Jets fan. Nothing in his world makes sense. It's not his fault. A lot of things make sense in my world.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things don't make sense in my world. One of them is that my team is slowly trying to kill me.
That makes all the sense in the world to the rest of us. Because we all feel like to a certain point.
My college and my college team are both doing it. I basically have the greatest combination of why are you doing what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. See, I mean, it is a conspiracy this year. Both of your teams have conspired and said, you know what, this is the year.
And it's an election
2024, year. It's as far as it can go.
And it's an election year.
And good Lord, should that not go your way? Oh my God,
it's
going to be crazy. It's going to be a bad year for Jeremy if that doesn't go your way either. But yeah, most of us feel like our teams are trying to kill us. It's just we all expect your team to try to kill you because Jets going Jet.
You're a Jets fan, and that's what they do.
Exactly.
I got a call last night when Malachi Corley dropped that ball at the 1 yard line. That was one of the only plays last night that I didn't see. And I had no idea what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back and watched the replay, and I went, yep, that's the jettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. The ball just sidles out of the back of the end zone like, deep, 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 deep. Nobody notices. The official did. No Jet did. No Texan did.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Football Friday. Rolls on after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as a front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. It's going to be out this weekend, dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler, a high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. If you have a gun, you have a responsibility to lock it up, to keep it safe every single time. Visit ncsafe.org to learn more. That's ncsafe.org.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see
see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumbing a bag of hammers. It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, live in the Ingles studio. It is a
Football Friday.
Yes, sir, it is. We have the daily draft coming up in the next hour.
Have you seen these Army helmets for this weekend?
No, sir, I haven't.
Holy goodness gracious.
Oh, I don't know if I should get excited about this.
They are sweet.
I mean, is this like Miami Heat, Miami Vice excited, or
it's Army? What do you think?
I'm just wondering. Are we looking at like camo helmets here?
No.
Are they doing the battalions again?
These have like a skull and crossbones. They're all blacked out. Those are phenomenal.
And who are they playing this week?
I don't know, but I'll take Army by a gajillion.
Oh, I think they're playing Air Force this week.
Oh, yeah, they are. They are playing Air Force. Because I almost took that, and had I seen that helmet, I would have.
Oh, man. Those are bad. I like that.
I'm putting them up on the YouTube stream as we speak.
Yes.
Those are phenomenal.
Flat black helmet with a you can't really call that a black sticker. It's a really dark gray helmet.
It's
skull and crossbones on the back of it. I really dug the ones that they did a couple of years ago where they had the battalions on it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you had the paratroopers that had their insignia on it. You had, of course, the one with the tank battalion on the side of it. I still want to get one of those replica helmets. That's cool. I do like those. All right, back to the NFL here. For Week 9, 4 o'clock slate of games. We'll be kicking off with 2 games at 4:05. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Philadelphia is a 7.5-point favorite.
Can anybody explain to me how Philadelphia's played like 2 good teams in 7 years? How does that happen? Every single year they wind up with a schedule where they just play the doggest of dog water. I'm taking Philadelphia.
Yes. The hook doesn't even concern you.
Don't care.
Because Jacksonville is just
awful.
That bad. Just that bad. There was a conversation in the YouTube chat earlier about
99+% of the money in the money line is on Philadelphia to win this game.
Yes. They were talking in the chat earlier about Zach Taylor, I believe it was, and Zach Taylor gets fired. What does his future look like? And it was, he just goes back to being a coordinator. Well, somebody made the point, but, I mean, he did take a team to a Super Bowl. Yeah, okay, well, look at Doug Peterson. How do you feel about him right now? He took a team to a Super Bowl as well. And I think at this point we're all thinking maybe he is just a coordinator.
Hey, don't feel bad for Doug Peterson. He's got a great future as the lead actor in Viagra commercials. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Doug looks like the guy that's walking to the bathtub on the beach for sure. Especially with that visor. You know I'm right.
You are right. I'm just looking at this picture of him and dumbass standing next to each other. Nick Sirianni. Yeah.
I noticed
got a
that.
solid point.
I noticed
All
that
right.
during one of the London games. I was
not
like,
bad.
oh, my God.
It's not a bad description.
Doug.
Philadelphia.
Doug.
Philadelphia going for win 4 in a row. And just like that, they're back to the top of the division.
I mean, if we give them 2 or 3 more months, eventually they have to play a good team.
The over-under on this game, Philadelphia and Jacksonville, is 45.5.
Over. It's one of my favorite overs of the week.
I tend to agree with that. How much of that's done by Philadelphia, though?
Not as much as you think. I actually
Really?
think this game's close for a while.
Really?
I don't think Philadelphia's good defensively. Now, what helps is that I'm not sure Jacksonville's going to have a living, breathing receiver by the time we get to this. Because there'll be no Brian Thomas Jr., no Christian Kirk.
Right.
So it's Gabriel who are their receivers? I haven't looked at this should be fun. Who are the starting receivers this week for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh, well, you have...
Oh, boy.
Gabe Davis.
That's one. Oh, boy.
Parker Washington.
Uh-huh. And Tim Jones.
And he's the only other one on the team.
And Tim Jones, who I think works for an insurance company here in Asheville.
So we're going to be. I mean, are we moving Evan Ingram out? And
oh yeah, I mean,
we're
Evan
moving
Ingram's
him out.
He'll play some receiver because they have 4 tight ends: Brent Strange, Luke Farrell, Ingram, and Josiah DeGuara.
Now Thomas, they still have to make a call on him, right? He's a game time.
Yeah,
decision.
Thomas is not going to play.
He's
I
got a
feel
chest
very
issue.
sure he's not going to play.
What was the chest issue?
I don't.
I was going to say I
know
don't.
the inner working.
If he, well, I mean, I was just wondering if that was like, did he get hurt in the last game and I missed it, or
he was going to be down 2 to 4 weeks, and that was a day or 2 ago.
Yeah.
So I really struggle to believe he recovered that much.
Okay. All right. Philadelphia minus the 7.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, going over on that one, and might be a good game to throw a DFS slot or 2 at.
Oh, Stephen Todd's Tom Jones. You're right. He sells insurance here in Nashville.
Oh.
He also used to do a show in Vegas. It's not unusual. Sorry.
Yep. The other 405 game, Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are a 1.5 point favorite. And that feels like a layup to me.
This was the hardest game of the week for me to pick.
Was it?
Falcons Cowboys was 2. This was 1.
I think this could be fun. I like the way Kyler Murray's playing.
I'm all about the over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Chicago.
Are you?
I am. I'm taking
Okay.
Chicago.
All right.
This is one of those games to me that I think Kyler makes that mistake late. They have the ball. He throws the pick. And the bad thing for me is that this is a team that plays the Jets next week. So I'm sitting here going, of course they're going to lose the week before and really need a win at home 2 weeks in a row. I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the over.
I don't know how this team rebounds from what happened last week.
You have to.
That is such a mind screw that you've got the game won. You got a player that's just, I mean, he's already rubbing it in to the people on the sidelines and getting caught in the middle of the last play. It was an absolute fluky play.
If Chicago loses this game, I have a sneaking suspicion that you're going to see some kind of shakeup, whether it's with Shane Waldron or with Matt Eberflus.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let this season go down the bunny hole. And Chicago is at great risk of that.
Yep.
Because they're 4-3 right now. They play the Patriots, and they got 2 winnable games right here. If you're 6-3 going into that home stretch, okay, you got a shot. Here's how they end the season. Packers, Vikings, at the Lions, at the 49ers, at the Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, at the Packers. You damn well better win these 2. Because if you don't, everybody's fired.
Mm-hmm.
Because this team could end up going 6-11.
I was going to say, you're going to lose 8 games in a row regardless.
And that's where momentum comes in. Because that defense is good enough for you to win a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
Probably enough for you to sneak into playoffs if you play your cards right. if you lose one of these two, may God have mercy on your soul. Because after how bad the loss in Washington was, now you put yourself behind the 8 ball losing to, look, they're better than the Cardinals. They're better than the Patriots. I would much rather have the momentum, the coaching, everything that I get in Arizona. But you should still win this game. And I think you have to win this game.
Arizona minus the 1.5. Jeremy's going plus the 1.5 for the Chicago Bears.
I'll take the Bears outright.
Taking the Bears outright. Okay. And we're both on the over, 44.5. 4:25 start for, it's the games of the week for me in the NFL. You got the Rams and the Seahawks, 4:25.
Game of the week.
I said games of the week. Or in the 4:25 slate. I can miss every other game this week, and the 4:25 slate, I'll watch both of them.
I could agree with you on that. 99.47% because of Detroit Green Bay. And I guess they will have to at some point play commercials, and I'll flip over to Rams Seahawks. Because that's the only reason I'm touching that game. Let's start with Rams Seahawks.
Yeah.
I genuinely.
You'll save the best for last.
This could be a game between two teams coached by my ex-wives, and I wouldn't care less. I will go.
You have no interest in the NFC West race.
The two,
knowing that it's wide open.
The two, they're just here. They're the 17. They're the Pittsburgh Steelers of every year, but apparently this one, 17-18. No, I don't care. Hey, one of you is going to make the playoffs, probably, and you are going to get annihilated when you get there. This game's in Seattle. I will begrudgingly take Seattle.
Okay.
I did not want to.
Seattle's
plus
the 1.
These two teams combined are 4-10-1 against the spread this year. Ugh. Is it a 1-point spread or 1.5? I'm seeing both.
Well, DraftKings is the one we use.
What does DraftKings
So
have?
DraftKings has it at 1. It's a 1-point lean to the LA Rams.
So this is going to be a 1-point game, and the Rams are the favorite. I'm going to take the Seahawks and know that this is probably a tie because the Seahawks are going to lose by 1. There's two teams that can't cover a spread, so we all know it's going to be a push.
Right. But if you look over, I'm looking at the ESPN layout, and the ESPN bet has Seattle as the 1-point favorite.
No.
Just going back and forth here. Flip a coin.
Nope. Rams. Gross. Don't watch it. Awful.
Yeah.
We'll stick a pin in Packers-Lions, and we'll do that after the break.
Okay.
Because we still got to get to bangers, and I had to supercharge them because we've only got 2 sets of bangers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Jeremy will have some picks of the weekend for you.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Asheville Smiles has been featured in national publications like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. And check out this 5-star Google review. My dental experience was wonderful. I cannot say enough about Dr. Merrill and her amazing team at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Dr. Merrill took time to explain everything. She made me feel relaxed and confident that I was in good hands. I apologize for those tears at your office. Those were tears of joy. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Dr. Merrill, for the hope to get my smile back. Check out Asheville Smiles online at ashevillesmiles.com.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process. And go Mounties!
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
Football season is here, and at Haywood Regional Medical Center, we know it's not just the players who need to stay in top shape. Whether you're an athlete pushing for the win or a fan enjoying the action, our orthopedic team is here to keep you in the game. This season, let Haywood Regional Medical Center meet your orthopedic needs. From tears and strains to sprains and breaks, we use today's therapeutic technology to keep you moving. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more. Haywood Regional Medical Center, sports medicine and orthopedics to help you live your healthiest life.
With 2 convenient locations, Singleton's Automotive will keep your vehicle on the road. Singleton's offers routine maintenance, BG services, tires, inspections, alignments, and more in their family-owned shops. Singleton's Automotive is hiring technicians for both locations. Receive competitive pay and benefits depending on experience. Visit singletonsautomotive.com. That's singletonsautomotive.com. Car care with character.
Coffee's the closers only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Oh, this is a weird week in college football. You got annihilated last week at the books because you put too many big numbers on too many games that you shouldn't have put big numbers on. So this week, we got a slew of numbers that are way too little. We start Indiana's an 8-point favorite at Michigan State. Las Vegas, have you seen Michigan State? Because they're like super bad. Like not even just kind of bad. They are super B-A-double-D bad. And Indiana, I just think they're going to be the most aggressively underrated team in the nation until they beat Ohio State. And I think they're going to. Give me Indiana minus the 8. They're going to win this by many. It might end in 8, but it's going to have a number in front of it. It's probably not a 1. Kansas State's a 13-point favorite at Houston. There's one offense in America that's worse than my Florida State Seminoles. More to speak about them momentarily. And it is the Houston Cougars. Kansas State's good, and they're going to hurt your feelings. Give me the Wildcats, minus 13. The old saying goes, the enemy of my friend is my enemy. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And this week, the Georgia Bulldogs in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. 14.5-point favorites. That if this was a first quarter line, I'd agree with you. Florida can beat up on bad teams. They're fitting to go through an ugly bloodletting of the next 5 weeks. And it starts here. Bulldogs minus the 14.5. Oregon's a 14.5-point favorite at Michigan. I don't care if they played this game at Jim Harbaugh's house. I'll still take Oregon in an absolute walk. And I haven't got to play this much. Ah! And guess what? I ain't playing it here either. North Carolina's a 2.5-point favorite in Tallahassee, Florida. And this week, it's my favorite pick of the week. The achy breaky, no mistakey is the North Carolina Tar Heels minus the 2.5. I get they're not good, but Florida State can't score. I don't care how bad your defense is. They're that bad. I don't think it's much more than 2.5, but I will take Carolina to win by, I'll say 10. Florida State is bad. You thought I was going to take them, didn't you?
I did.
I couldn't resist the urge to take an underdog. I can when it's Florida State.
And you can take all those wagers over to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Take a quick break. When we return, we'll talk more Week 9 NFL football.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as a front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. It's going to be out this weekend. Dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler. A high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by NC Medicaid for more people.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
WWNC covers it all from now till November 5th.
All the key races.
All the big issues.
All the late-breaking developments.
All right here.
On News Radio 570 WWNC, Western North Carolina's election station.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingalls studio on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We are also heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. It is a
Football Friday.
And, we got the daily draft coming up here in just a few moments. But before we do, we'll close out the 4 o'clock slate on Sunday here, hitting each and every game of the NFL slate for you, as we do every Football Friday. And the final game of the 4 o'clock slate is the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Detroit Lions are a 3-point favorite against Green Bay. Jordan Love, what's the story? Where's he at? Is he playing? Is he not playing?
There is internal optimism in the building that he will play.
There is there is pessimism in my head as to whether or not they can win this game or even make it close. Either way.
Oh, they can certainly make it close.
If he does come back, is he going to be worth it? I mean, is it worth it to play him in the game?
I will say yes. Because I could make the argument this is the most important game in the NFC so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
This may determine who gets a bye. Because whoever wins the NFC North, I believe, is going to be the one seed in the NFC.
More than likely.
Because I can't see who else it's going to be.
Well, I mean, it possibly could be Washington, but that takes a lot.
It takes a lot, and it takes them beating a lot of teams that – Washington has one of those schedules that just look at, there's a lot of Steelers and Eagles and Cowboys and Eagles again, Falcons, at the Cowboys.
Losable games.
Yes. And you got a team that doesn't really know how to win, and you also have to factor in that you have a rookie quarterback, and rookies notoriously hit the rookie wall.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this will be the game that is the tiebreaker between these two teams because I think they're going to be really, really close. They play again in Detroit. I will agree with you that I don't see any possible way they're going into Detroit when that game is because it's on December the 5th. It's very late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a way that Green Bay wins that one. So if you lose this one, you're going to lose the tiebreaker to the Lions, and you're another full game behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the best team in the NFC. This might be the most important game of the season so far for any team, and it's for the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
So, yeah, I do think there's a chance Jordan Love's going to play. I think there's a good chance he's probably going to play well, and this is the game of the week.
It is the game of the week. No doubt about that.
Whoever wins this walks out as the 1 seed in the NFC right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll be the first team to 7 wins.
And I have all the faith in the world in Detroit doing that, not Green Bay, who's coming in with a hurt quarterback.
I don't think this is as cut and dry as you do. I really don't. I don't think this is as cut and dry as you do.
Okay, will Green Bay be able to run the ball on Detroit?
At all, yes. Can it carry your offense? No. But, I mean, you also have to realize this is a team that's not rushing the passer at the level that they were.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Bay has a slew of weapons. I probably should have said this off the jump. I'm taking Green Bay plus the 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they're going to win this game with Jordan Love. And this falls into what I said about Houston earlier. Detroit has done a great job of taking themselves out of the dregs and becoming that team and the weight of expectation, and they've done a great job of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Jared Goff outside. I never have. And it's going to be kind of cold. And when I say kind of cold, I mean the high is 50. You ever seen Jared Goff splits in games where it's less than 50 degrees outside? They ain't pretty. Those. They are not pretty.
It could be raining, too?
I think there was an off chance of that.
It's got the little icon on it, so I was going to
I think there was a chance it rained that day, maybe not necessarily during the game.
It is a 4 o'clock kickoff. So
4:25,
yeah, the hourly shows that there could be some showers. 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So
if it turns into cold and rainy,
could.
Ugh.
Could get gross for the Lions.
I think the Lions are a better team.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going into Lambeau in a game that is so important to them. Detroit can recover from this. I don't know if you've looked at the schedule. That team's going to go roughly 13-4. I think you will win in Detroit. Green Bay loses here, we're going to have to win 3 games in the playoffs to get the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take Green Bay.
Okay, all right. Feel like they'll be jazzed up for this one, I guess. I think any amount of cheerleading in that locker room, I don't think is gonna send you. But there again, how many times am I wrong? It's a bunch. Over under 48. It's over. Over the 48.
I agree with you cautiously.
Mm-hmm. Just cautiously.
If it's raining, I hate it. Jared Goff outside.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that, and I've been saying this for years. It's not new information.
No.
Ever since he's gone to Detroit, they play one of these games a year, and I think so far I've yet to miss one of these.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Green Bay, maybe Jared Goff, as he is known to do, makes that critical mistake late in the game. Green Bay's defense comes up with a big play, and they might be able to pull out the win here.
I do think these teams are close. I said this a few weeks ago. The 3 best teams in the NFC to me are all 3 in the AFC or NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
It's Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Washington has jumped up there. I still have questions about the defense, and I have questions about is Jaden Daniels going to hit that wall? but I don't have anybody close to them. I don't think Philadelphia's close to them. I don't think Atlanta's close to them. I don't think Arizona or San Francisco. There's a significant drop-off there.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means, if you're the 1 seed, you're still going to have to beat 2 of them, but you do it in your house. And I don't like the chances of anybody going into Lambeau. I don't like the chances of anybody going into Minnesota. I don't like the chances of anybody going into Detroit and beating them. You could be establishing your dominance if you're the Lions. And you get kind of behind the 8 ball if you're the Packers, because you look at the schedule and you go, there are some losses here. We need Detroit to come to us a little bit, and we certainly don't need to give them an advantage.
Right. Again, I get the motivation part. I just don't know that they're capable of it. And maybe that's just too much of my own prejudice for the Honolulu Blue of the Detroit Lions. I just love everything about that team. And obviously the pass rush does need some attention. Not sure that you need it to win this game.
My best bet here is that you see the fact that they can't get to Jordan Love, and Love just meticulously picks them apart. And that is the impetus for them to actually pull the trigger on a deal either Monday or Tuesday.
Now, I've been unplugged a bit from football more than I usually am. What has happened with Jaden Reed? I've just noticed he's not getting the ball lately. And
it's what happens when you have 5 legit receivers. Christian Watson came back.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has not been as good as he was. Still leading the team in receptions. Still one of the leading receivers in the league.
Right. Well, the first because he was so good for those first few weeks, but I was reading yesterday, like the last 3 weeks, he's completely fallen off the map. He's now fallen behind snaps for everybody that's on that in that wide receiver room. Pretty much, they're the top targets. Whatever.
Yeah, that's not true. He's behind Dubs, and I think him and Watson were pretty close.
Which he was one. But that's what I'm saying.
It's not quite that cut and dry. He basically only plays out of the slot. So they ran a lot against Jacksonville and against Houston. So you don't have a slot guy. You got 2 tight. Excuse me. You got 2 tight ends out there. So of course that cuts his snaps.
Right.
I love Jaden Reed this week. Absolutely love him. I think he will have a great week. Whoever wrote that story is making a story where I don't think there is a story.
Okay.
That's another one of those fantasy footballification things of, well, he's had 2 bad weeks in a row. Yeah, because the game plan didn't really dictate that he was going to have great weeks.
Right. Although, I mean, it did follow that up with the damage that there is to be done against the Detroit Lions is in the slot.
Exactly.
So
the safety playing slot corner.
Yeah. So this could be, as Jeremy said,
it's a great safety playing slot corner.
A Jaden Reed week. Who knows? So we're both. Or no, you're taking Green Bay plus the 3. I'm on Detroit to cover the 3, and we're both on the over 48. Yes. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. It's coming up next.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options. and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process. And go Mounties!
With 2 convenient locations, Singleton's Automotive will keep your vehicle on the road. Singleton's offers routine maintenance, BG services, tires, inspections, alignments, and more in their family-owned shops. Singleton's Automotive is hiring technicians for both locations. Receive competitive pay and benefits depending on experience. Visit singletonsautomotive.com. That's singletonsautomotive.com. Car care with character.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, it is time for the Daily Draft. Where are you going to go this weekend if you were going somewhere this weekend? It's a little slim pickings there, J-Bo, because
I'm taking the first pick. Look at me. Look at me being a jerk.
No, sir.
Oh, 100%.
You cheated.
I gift you the first pick a lot, and I reserve it for times like this, where there is one beautiful apple of all of our eyes and then 11 turds.
That's what this weekend is as far as, both college and football and pro football go. So let's go.
Mo Bamba. Oh, yeah, I'm going Penn State. Why not? Let's go. No doubt, Ohio State, Penn State, I would take it 6 times in a row.
Yep.
I would sit in the crappiest. You could tell me I had to sit in the bathroom of that game, or I could call 5 plays at any other game this week, and I'm going to Happy Valley.
Ohio State and Penn State.
Oh, and by the way.
Banger.
Banger.
Mm-hmm.
I told you at the start of the show, bangers are a little scant this week.
Is this the time, though? Is this when James Franklin finally gets his win?
You're going to have to hang around till the end of the show. I'm like Kirk Herbstreit here. I can't make a pick yet because pick of the game.
Because he's never been able to get it done before. And this is the best shot he's ever had.
I don't think either of these teams are great. Like, if I was doing rankings right now in college football, I don't think either of these teams would be in my top 5.
Really? Wow.
Your top 5 right now would be who? All right, Oregon, I'll gift you. Oregon is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's
2. What? You don't think Georgia's 2?
Not really.
Who's better? If it's not Penn State and it's not Ohio State, it's definitely not Miami. It ain't Texas. It ain't Tennessee.
You're 2 by default. If you asked me to rank the 5 teams that I trusted the most to win a national title, Georgia's not 2.
Okay.
But I don't know who it would be. So they're 2 by default.
Okay.
I don't think you're the second best team in the country.
Well, when you said,
I still think Texas is better than you, straight up.
When you said,
even though you beat them.
When you said neither of these teams are good with Ohio State and Penn State, or are great, I agree with you. But I don't think there is a great team in the country.
There are teams that are great at things. The problem that I run into with Ohio State and Penn State, I don't think you're great at anything. I think you're great when you're not playing great, and so you can take Marshall and mush their face. What happens when you play Oregon? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've already seen that, and Ohio State got pushed around. And had it not been for some questionable officiating, you wouldn't have had a shot at the end of that game. This is going to tell us a lot. And I think one of these teams is going to be unveiled, and at the end of this hour, I'll tell you who that team is.
Yeah.
And that means it's Tank's pick, and I can't wait to hear which one of these Grumper Fest you're going to pick.
Well, as I said, you have one standalone game at the top of the college ranks. You got one standalone game at the top of the pro ranks.
Agreed.
The Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. That has to be the other number one pick of the weekend to me.
I agree. The only thing that makes me nervous is Jordan Love is still not guaranteed to play in this game, and if he does, I'm not 100% sure how good he's going to be.
Right. But I mean, we have seen this team still play competitively without him. Granted, they were playing bad teams.
There it is.
I mean, I'm not saying that Malik Willis, if he has to play against the Detroit Lions, is going to give them any kind of fight.
Because he
But
played.
there's no other game on the schedule that's any kind of interesting to me.
Do you remember who the 2 teams he played the first time were?
Oh, was it like Tennessee?
It was Tennessee and the Colts.
The Colts.
Gross.
2 terrible teams. I get it.
Gross.
I get it. But right now, Detroit and Green Bay is the sexiest thing on the football schedule pro-wise, and it's not even close to me.
I don't agree with you that it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with you at all there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to take the other one next. So I will defer my commentary until you make your next selection.
The other one.
Well, it should just
Oh,
well,
I mean, I got to make sure that I get my game. So I am going with the number 2 team in the country. Georgia, Florida. The world's largest cocktail party down in Jacksonville.
You know, not everybody in life can look at themselves and go, that's the decision I made that sent everything careening down a path. I can point in this draft, this is the point where you made the decision that, excuse me? I wouldn't have taken this game. I probably would have taken it by the end of the draft. I certainly wasn't taking it now.
Wow.
Florida's unwatchable. But they beat Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's also unwatchable. I'll go ahead and tell you, Kentucky, Tennessee ain't on my list either. I have no interest.
Really?
Florida's that bad.
Wow.
Florida is Florida State bad, just nobody wants to talk about it.
Mm.
Because you didn't have an expectation for Florida for them to be good. And final score of that game is what?
Oh, I'll say it's 30.
I mean, I've already picked it, so you know which side I'm laying.
It's 34-4.
Yeah,
I was going to give them like 16 maybe.
I have no belief that this game can stay close.
All right.
To me, it is just, the line is not good. It's like I told you in the first segment of Bangers, Vegas got their lunchbox eaten last week. So what does that usually turn into? They overreact.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where they've reacted here, because I keep looking at 14.5 going, for why? For what has Florida done that makes you think they can hang into that? And before you tell me, well, they're 4-3, their wins are over Sanford, Mississippi State, who is a glorified version of a Mountain West team.
Mm-hmm.
UCF, who is awful, and Kentucky. That one Kentucky win that shouldn't mean anything to anybody is swaying the narrative.
Well, and the fact that it was, they didn't get blown out by Tennessee like so many thought.
I'll step out on a limb here. Because they play Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State, and I don't think they win one of those games.
Mm-hmm. And this is the game that snatches any hope that they have. Yes. And that's kind of part of it. It's obviously it's a personal thing for me.
I will steal your soul and I will flick it in its forehead.
Exactly. You're 3-3 and you might have a little bit of hope after you played close with Tennessee.
Really? But this game still has that emotional tie to you.
It does. Every time you can beat your rival, your biggest rival, you're gonna.
Biggest rival?
Yes.
Biggest rival?
Who is it? Alabama?
Oh, Alabama 1, 2, and 4. Tennessee 3. Florida's been irrelevant for the better part of my adult life.
There's very few that you hate more.
I'll look at it from take this year of Florida State fandom away. I care so much more about beating Miami and beating Clemson than I do Florida because you're not in my weight class.
Right.
Well, Florida State sucks this year. Yeah, this is 1 year. Hey, what happened when we were bad previously? Oh, we can still beat Florida.
Look, everybody has this, all right? The Bulldogs have the Crimson Tide. That's the new big rivalry in the SEC.
Yeah, because
we have Tennessee, which, okay, I'll give you that.
Also good.
This is – so Florida – versus Georgia is the SEC equivalent of North Carolina, NC State. You're not in our weight class, and we will beat the dog crap out of you most of the time.
You're talking about basketball,
it still feels
here, right?
good. Of course.
Okay, I was about to say, because in football, they're definitely in each other's weight
we don't
class.
talk about football. We don't talk about football. I'm talking about basketball. It's the same kind of thing. Like, it's still a rivalry, and beating them really matters in here.
Okay. See, to me, this rivalry has become like big brother, little brother, and big brother hit a growth spurt. And now, anytime you don't do what I want you to do, it's going to be stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
Let's hope so.
And I don't think little brother's going to hit that growth spurt.
Right.
So Florida's irrelevant to me. But, hey, you left me what I wanted, and I'm okay with that. Because I'm taking – fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things. And the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
I think this game is so much closer than everybody else does.
Uh-huh.
Kansas City plays with their food every time they play anybody, fact or fiction.
Fact.
Baker Mayfield is, right now, your belief in him is minuscule, fact or fiction.
Fact.
Same thing with Todd Bowles.
Fact.
How many times do we have to do this before you figure this out?
When you think they're going to go this way, they go that way.
When you have peed on their grave, that's when the Undertaker hand comes out and grabs you by your shirt collar. I think this game is so close to Detroit Green Bay that it is disgusting.
Really?
And this game will end up being the best game of the week.
Wow.
I love the over. Love the over. I'm not saying this is going to be Rams Chiefs from back in a few years ago. I will be stunned if the winner of this game does not score 35 points. Stunned. And for me, that's a lot more palatable than watching DJ Lagway trying to throw the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, interception. Man, he's completed more passes to the guy in the black jerseys than he has to the guy in the blue jerseys.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you're doing this right.
Wow, I really did not I really did not
When
expect
you
that.
said I want to get my game, I assumed that's what you were talking about.
No, because I don't want to watch that game in any kind of way. Because I think in my head it's already 30-0, and I don't really want to turn it on.
Kansas City doesn't do that, and you know it.
Yeah.
And you don't believe in your team, which
I don't.
Tank, how many times do we have to do this?
I don't, although this is the perfect scenario of, oh, yeah.
Am I ever wrong about Todd Bowles? Honestly.
This team sucks, and here they hand the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss of the year.
My batting average with Todd Bowles looks like my slugging percentage. I'm actually somehow batting over 1,000 on Todd Bowles. Because sometimes I'm even more right than I think I am.
I hope you're right. I hope they make it a game. I don't think they will.
Okay.
And I didn't think I didn't think I had to take that game that early.
I have to take. I think the NFL slate's better than the college slate.
I think it's all gross past the first two games.
I mean, this is which side of the nursery smells worse for Sure.
Yeah.
One of them has a P corner and one of them has a grumper corner. So I'm going to take the college game that I would have been the most interested to go to, and that's Texas A&M, South Carolina.
Okay.
Styles make fights. There is something about this line that doesn't smell right to me. It doesn't pass the sniff test.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched South Carolina punch up in games like this. I don't like Texas A&M much. They have talent. They always have talent. I like Mike Elko. I just don't think you're going to win at a high level. And Texas A&M, there's a great chance that they make the playoff. I'm not scared of you in any way. Do you think I'm casting aspersions on a school that I may not have the greatest affinity for?
No, I think it's all fair. Texas A&M has always been a program that, well, not always. I will say since Johnny Manziel, right? Since Johnny Manziel beat Alabama, Texas A&M has been maddeningly frustrating.
Well, and my
number
other
one
problem is
recruiting classes, not winning big games, getting sniped by Appalachian State.
My other problem with Texas A&M is that you played two good teams all year. One of them was on your field, and you pulled it out late.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was Notre Dame. At no point did I think you were better than them, and I don't think they're any good.
Yeah.
So this one's interesting to me. That's one of the – Williams-Brice Stadium is the most underrated stadium in the country, and I don't think it's all that close.
Okay.
As a guy that has been in that stadium this year –
That would be a fantastic thing to see. I want South Carolina to finally get a top 25 win. It'd be great to see.
South Carolina is your attractive friend that talks about Magic the Gathering too much. He gets the girl to talk to him. As he walks up and he looks like Zac Efron, and they just go, "Hey, this would you like to see my magic book?" Oh, shoot. That's not awesome. I wish you hadn't said that. I have to go wash my hair now. So.
She mildly thinks you're attractive, and then you start trying to tell her what happened on SmackDown on Friday night. Oh.
Hey, did you hear about the bloodline? They're going to face each other.
Roman Reigns is wrestling next week.
Cody Rhodes completed the story.
Sorry. That was a good line, and I applaud you for it.
Completed the story.
He completed the story.
All right, next game. Where are you going to go?
The wrestling fans now are going, hey, wait.
Guys.
I think he's talking. I think he's not being that to me.
All right, third selection from where you're going to go this weekend. I'm going back to a pro game. I'm going
as well. You should.
I'm going to Seattle. I'm going Rams and the Seahawks. What?
That wasn't even on my list.
Why?
That wasn't even on my list because I think both those teams suck. I told you this. Because I think both those teams are terrible.
I can't wait to hear what games you think are better than that.
Oh, for sure.
Rams and the Seahawks in a divisional battle? Yes, please. I will take that.
In a divisional battle.
Yeah.
Okay. We get the two worst teams in this division battling out. Oh, and it's probably raining in Seattle. Shoot. That's a game that makes people emo. Like when you see the guys with the bangs that cry more than their girlfriend, they became the way they are because they watched too many games at Lumen Field between this Rams team and this Seahawks team.
Mm-hmm.
Over again. Sorry.
Couldn't interest you in that one.
No way. Wasn't even in my top 12.
That's ridiculous.
That's
the dumbest thing I think you've said today.
I've already okay. I have 3 programs left.
Yeah.
That are all exponentially better than one you just said.
Oh, I can't
Don't worry,
wait.
you're obviously not going to take them, so I'll get the chance to defend it. You proceed. I can't wait to hear what college game you have. I have all of the college games left are at the bottom of my list.
Oh, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible.
I'm just curious if you take the right one.
Pittsburgh SMU.
And that would be a no. I detest Pittsburgh.
It's that.
Why? West Virginia. That's our biggest rival. I hate Pittsburgh.
Duh.
And so I've watched them just trying to find reasons to denigrate them, and I found plenty.
Okay.
They're not. They played a markedly tougher schedule than some other teams have,
Mm-hmm.
that still doesn't mean they're good. Yeah, styles make fights, and these are two couldn't be any more different if they tried. It was on my list.
But
you did at least get a game
doesn't
on
that
my
make
list.
that interesting?
Not really.
The fact that these are two different teams going up against each other, both ranked in the top 10 or in the top 25, and one loss between them.
Would you like to watch a really good boxer that has beaten really nobody, but has a good record, fight in a cage? Actually, no. That's I got to carry the analogy against a mediocre MMA fighter in a pillow fight, because that's what that game is in a nutshell. Because neither one of you is going to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They will be able to stop you from doing that, so then it just turns into a great big gross fest. I had it on my list, but it was lower than
6th.
It was lower than this. Let's put it
7th
that way. So you said what NFL games are better than Seattle and the Rams?
Yes.
The Indianapolis Colts, Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, okay.
The Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and the Indianapolis Colts are not.
But Joe Flacco's playing. Yeah,
with
no answer. You should. What you just said tells me how out of date with the Colts you actually are.
Uh-huh.
The Colts are a playoff team with Joe Flacco, period. That's how bad Anthony Richardson has been.
Okay.
Look, I get that after last night you're not feeling hunky-dunky about the Texans. That's still one of the best teams in the AFC. Colts played them twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad Colts team. The problem with them is that they are dull as dishwater. And now you're going up against that walk-up defense. To me, that game is infinitely more interesting because that's two playoff teams. You took two that you might get into the playoffs. You're not a playoff team. The Colts, if Joe Flacco is the quarterback for the rest of the year, will make the playoffs.
Wow.
And I would take them over that Jets team I saw last night.
Okay.
I'm dumbfounded that you took Rams Seahawks over that. The other one, I put it in the chat.
Blown away.
I'll put it in the chat. I guarantee you're not going to like the response of what you see here, because there's going to be people that go, "Are you out of your damn mind?"
Oh, I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there will be. The
Rams
Colts
Seahawks.
Wow.
The other one, and I understand why you're going to denigrate this one. My interest in it more comes from why is this line what it is.
Okay.
It's Dolphins-Bills.
Oh, okay.
The Dolphins are infinitely more talented than the Rams or the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a divisional game, too. It's in Buffalo, which is one of the best stadiums in the league to watch a game in.
But you don't have a quarterback. You don't have a good one.
Do you have Tua Tagovailoa?
Precisely. I say what I said. You don't have a good one. And he's hurt. Like, come on.
He's not hurt.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. He had his brain knocked out of his skull 4 weeks ago.
And he was cleared by a neurologist.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to go their way.
But you're treating this is all right. Now I'm going to go down the path of tell me you've never had a concussion without telling me you've never had one. I've had 4.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're cleared, you're fine. Now you might have another one, and you're more susceptible to another one. He is 100% the same quarterback right now he was 3 years ago. There is a huge possibility that he takes a boo-boo to his brain and he goes out, and now we've got Tyler Huntley.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I took this so low. There's a reason Vegas thinks this is inside of a touchdown game, and I tend to agree with him. Brian Hall came to me this morning and said, he's a Dolphins fan, said, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills, and I went, you ought not do that. Because you could end up losing this game by a field goal, and you're going to be perturbed on two sides. You lost money, your team lost, but they covered. I have a weird feeling that's going to be a really good game.
Okay. All right.
We've
Miami
all buried
Buffalo.
Look at the Jets last night.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not a good team.
No.
But they played up in the second half because you were absolutely playing for your playoff lives.
Yep.
Miami Dolphins are in the same boat. They still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Jalen Waddle. They still have a slew of running backs. And Buffalo can't stop the run to save their lives. Battle for the belt, DraftKings, the other things. You use what I just said. You take that information however you want to. I'll go ahead and tell you there's going to be a Dolphin on my team. Might not be the one you think.
It's not Achan?
Maybe. Might not be.
Okay.
Might be a guy whose last name rhymes with Raheem Mostert.
All right.
And now I can't
Miami,
with these last
Wow.
three. I can't wait to see the battle of attrition.
Well, I'll
here.
go Louisville, Clemson. Could be a good matchup there in the ACC.
I waited too long.
I mean, they're going to be airing it out. It's going to be a high-scoring game, more than likely.
And then
I'll take Chicago and Arizona.
I would take that game over Rams Seahawks, and it's not even close.
Okay.
Not even close. Fact or fiction, both of the teams in that Cardinal Bear game are better than either of the teams in Rams Seahawks. The fact you're having to think about that shocks me.
Yeah, I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are better than the Rams. Do you?
The Cardinals have 4 pretty solid wins, including one over that Rams team you're talking about, where they mushed their face in a way that I have rarely ever seen an NFL team get their face
Well, I mean,
mushed.
that was a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it was a long time ago, and they were hurt. Hey, they're still hurt. Just throwing that out there. They got Puka Nacua back. Awesome. I'm taking the Rams to win. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
The defense is still terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of picks.
Yeah, that's it. Arizona and Chicago.
Chicago, Arizona was going to be my last pick. Awesome. So now I have to float with which one of these god awful because now I'm out of NFL games. Which one of these god awful?
You sure you don't want Saints Panthers? Panthers' second win of the season.
I'm 100% sure I don't want that, Bob. The only way, never mind. No good can come from what I was going to say. This feels gross. I'm taking Cowboys Falcons.
Cowboys and the
Falcons. Cowboys and Falcons. I can't take any of those college games. I was going to take Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas sucks, and I know it. But they're still going to somehow cover because stupid. And Ole Miss is stupid.
So Atlanta, Dallas, is that going to be close? Do you think it's like a field goal game? It's a last possession game? Because I don't think I do.
Why does Vegas have this game as a 3-point lean? You know that's where I defer to Vegas on everything because they annihilate the public every single week. Why is this a field goal game? That means Dallas would be favored in Dallas, and that makes no sense to me. I said this last night with the Jets and the Texans, and guess what happened? Jets came out and honestly were the more impressive team for 3 quarters. I'm in the same boat here. That was the hardest game to pick this week because I kept staring at that number going, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I feel like you're doing that thing where you're just like the fisherman with the dollar bill going, oh, you almost had it. Oh, you almost had it.
All right, Dallas Cowboys, Atlanta Falcons.
I want to change my pick on that game so bad, and I'm not going to do it. And you mark my words.
Stick what you got.
You just remember I said this. We're going to come in here Monday, and the Dallas Cowboys will have beaten the Falcons in Atlanta, and I'm going to go, hey, you remember when I battled with this for what felt like 4.5 hours? That's why. Doesn't make any sense. Neither does the NFL.
Yeah.
I drug you down the sidewalk in that.
Oh, did you?
I mean, this one went to the Cards, and you feel bad that you're looking at the fighter going, why'd you not just fall down? Like, just fall down.
Stop it.
Throw the damn towel.
Good God. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as a front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. For be out this weekend, dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler, a high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by United Federal Credit Union.
This is Matt Sorrells at United Federal Credit Union here in Asheville. We're here for our community following the devastation of Hurricane Helene. To see how we can help, you can visit unitedfcu.com/North Carolina Relief or call 888-982-1400, insured by NCUA.
iHeartRadio has the 2024 presidential election covered with Decision 2024. Listen for real-time results and updates as the votes come in. From key races to national trends, our team will cover it all. Tuesday night, stay informed and stay connected on the go with your free iHeartRadio app. Just search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
A people-first presidency.
Make America great again.
Decision 2024 on iHeartRadio.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. One user writes on their Google review, fantastic dental practice. Everyone I've come into contact with at Summit Dental has been very helpful and professional. The administrative front desk staff go out of their way to help with things that they don't have to do. Dr. Tompkins and Kim have been working on me recently, and they have been great about taking the time to explain everything they're doing to make it more comfortable for me. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today. 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about goofier than a pet coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
We're back on ESPN Asheville. It is the Sportsocracy. Speaking of raccoons, did you hear this morning Mark Starling told the story of there's a raccoon problem? I think it was over in Belgium or something, and now there's a farmer there that is selling raccoon sausage. Would you eat it?
That's going to be a no from me, Bob.
I mean, I feel like I'd have to try it.
Of course you would. You're the same guy yesterday that said, I'll have the goat.
Yep.
No. There are so many delicious, tasty animals, and they're not vermin.
But you never know when you're going to discover a new one.
I do.
Raccoon might be it.
I do know. Because if it were a thing. Okay, all right. So somebody at some point looked at a cow and went, if I squeeze the milk bag, I can drink that. I'm going to assume if any of these other animals were super delicious, some guy named Cooter Bob would have figured this out, I don't know,
eons.
200 years ago. Yeah. We don't eat vermin because they taste like vermin.
I'm just trying to figure out where your line's supposed to be. I
forgot the Jim. If I'm going to say Cooter Bob, it has to be Bob Jim because that's his name in reverse.
Yes.
Legend of jet history, Jim Bob Cooter. Greatest name ever.
Also,
a great OnlyFans name. Yes.
I was going to say also part of Indianapolis Colts history.
Yes.
And on Sunday Night Football, they play the Minnesota Vikings.
This game's so much better than you think it is. That's disgusting.
I guess. Apparently so. Because Minnesota minus 15. Let's go.
Yeah, you are out of your mind brain.
Joe Flacco comes in and saves the day again, saves another franchise.
How many times does the guy have to do it before you stop being shocked that he does it?
Yeah. Well, I just don't think Indianapolis is very good.
I think they're very bad defensively, and Justin Jefferson is sitting back going, oh, this is going to hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I love Darnold this week. I love Jefferson this week.
Should.
I do think this game will be close, though, because that Minnesota defense is not as good as you're led to believe it is. I will take Minnesota, but we are right on the boundary. If this line was a 1.5 higher, I'd take Indianapolis.
Okay.
I think it's roughly a 7-point game.
Over under the 46.5.
Let's see. What is the way I can – I don't know how to go much more aggressive than over. I could see this being first one to 35 wins.
All right, and
I
then
wish this game was in the main slate for DraftKings because it's a gross week. This is a week where I've looked at names that I don't think I've ever looked at before going, I can do that.
Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs. Tampa Bay plus the 9.
Bingo. I'm taking Tampa Bay plus the 9. I think this game's way closer than people think.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I believe in Tampa Bay, but because Kansas City is like a giant cat that has been given catnip and a toy, and it wants to just sit there and go boop, 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 and play with it for as long as they can.
Yep. Just like my teenage years. Plus the 9 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, over under the 45.5.
Hurricane Tank. we got to get a logo made for new tank.
Over under 45.5.
Over
the 45.5. All right. I don't like my team's chances, which yes probably means that they are going to do better in this game than I expect them to, and the fact that Kansas City doesn't blow anybody out, it kind of baffles me when Vegas continues to put Kansas City as a 9-point favorite, because I don't think it ever works. I would love to know the stat on how many times Kansas City has covered a spread when it's above 8.5.
Well, I can tell you in this individual year, the Chiefs are 4-2-1 against the spread, and they're 7-0. They are constantly overvalued because they're that good.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't beat teams like that.
Right.
If you had to pick a Buccaneer receiver this week, who is it?
Well, it's definitely not Chris Godwin.
For sure.
Is Mike playing?
I believe he's
if Mike comes back, he's got to be.
He's out.
He's got to be the one.
He's out.
So he's out. All right. Jalen McMillan.
I don't like him because I feel like he's going to get number one coverage. So I will go Trey Palmer.
Okay. You're in the sports opposite.
Which means it's probably going to be Cade Otton and Rashad White again.
Cade Otton. I did like the way that I said last Football Friday. Well, it's not going to be like Cade Otton's going to score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Show did.
There you go.
Show enough did.
There you have it. That was the one Tampa Bay week I missed the wide receiver that was the star. So maybe it'll be Jalen McMillan, and maybe they'll just say, you know what, Tank, we're sick of you trying to guess what we're going to do because you never know. I hate this team so much.
Yeah.
Can we lose by 60 this week and fire Todd Bowles?
I would laugh a lot if you did. Especially sitting there watching I accidentally farted and hope nobody notices Todd Bowles just like.
It raises those eyebrows at weird times. All right, we got one more set of bangers for you coming up after the break. Jeremy will get you set for the rest of the weekend action here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at NissanUSA.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
Haywood Regional Medical Center is thrilled to welcome primary care physician Dr. Tony Lee to our staff this fall. Dr. Lee will practice family medicine at our new Haywood Family Practice Asheville location on Acton Circle, just off the Enka-Candler exit on I-40. Dr. Lee is a local doctor returning home, bringing his expertise in primary care, a passion for prevention, and a commitment to lasting relationships with patients. Call 800-424-DOCS for an appointment. That's 800-424-DOCS or visit haywoodmedicalgroup.com.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I had to go a little bit deeper into the old coffers to find some dogs this week, but that's what you expect. It's not just a pick. It's the best kind of pick.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. Pittsburgh's a 7-point dog at SMU. First of all, under 56. Take the under aggressively, because this is not going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a big old-fashioned gross fest. Give me the Pittsburgh Panthers plus the 7. I don't care who wins. Louisville's a 10-point dog at Clemson. I still don't think Clemson's as good as everybody else does. Louisville has a quarterback that can hurt your feelings if you allow him to. I like a big day from Tyler Shuck and Clemson to still win, but Louisville to cover the 10. Illinois is a 3-point dog at home against Minnesota. Could anybody please explain that to me? Because that doesn't make a lick of sense. Illinois wins this game outright. Stop believing in the Gophers. They're fine, but they always lose games like this. Arkansas is a 7.5-point dog at home against the Ole Miss. They're not going to win this game. But Hog Pig Suey loves to be a fly in the ointment, and they're doing it to Hottie Toddy. Give me Arkansas. You don't have Mo Bamba, but I wish you did because I'm doing it. Give me Penn State plus the 3. They're finally going to do it. They've been the little sister, the little brother that's never big enough or good enough or actually good at all, because you just really like to beat bad teams and make us think you're good, and then you play good and you don't play gooder. Because you haven't been gooder for all these years. But I think you are now, because Ohio State's not that good. And I don't think they're going into Happy Valley and beating Penn State. Give me the Nittany Lions outright to beat Ohio State.
Whoa.
Mo Bamba.
I don't know the words to that song.
I don't know any words but that.
Yeah.
I also know that when you play College Football 25, that song comes on, your controller's about to vibrate out of your hands.
No, no doubt.
Oh, somehow I have no idea what play I called. That's what Will Howard's going to get to see. And I can't wait.
Please, somebody clip that shaky face that he just did. We're going to need that later.
That's okay. We clip a lot of things you do. They're tons of fun.
I know. It's time for me to, get you back a little bit. The NBA is underway. The NBA season. They're, 4 or 5 games into the season. And, look, if you wanted to back some certain player in the NBA to score a whole bunch of points or grab a whole bunch of rebounds or have a whole bunch of assists, You can do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
You know who it should be? Mo Bamba.
I don't think so.
Oh no, that's a bad call.
I mean, maybe like Jason Tatum against the Charlotte Hornets tonight, or Karl Anthony Towns against the Detroit Pistons tonight. Might be some ways that you can make some money with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. It is the home of NBA player props. And if it's your first time, they give you a little incentive here. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $200, Jeremy, in bonus bets instantly.
Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
We got all the football action this weekend, and we will recap it right here on ESPN Asheville on Monday.
Mo Bamba.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today should approach 74 under a mostly cloudy sky. There will be a slight chance for a shower or two popping up as the front moves through. And then tonight, clouds and areas of fog late with a low settling in the mid-50s. If you're going to be out this weekend, dry weather. Temperatures will trend slightly cooler, a high of 73 Saturday under a mix of clouds and sunshine. For Saturday night, it will be cloudy with a low of 55 and some more clouds into Sunday with a high close to 68 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls